Alright, let's go and get started. Check the audio. Alright, we should be good. B. Hi, Punisher. How you doing? Welcome back to jail.
Hey, isn't that Vidok over there? Huh. Is it just Paimon, or are there fewer people than usual here today?
Considering we're the ones that are doing all the things that are supposed to make us disappear and we haven't yet, I wonder if everyone else is just being our shield. Hey buddy, pal, how's it going?
Seeing you at this time must mean you've already saved up a lot of credit coupons. Or at least enough to skip work. Seems you're getting into the swing of things around
You're trying
here.
not to make good decisions, but also make fun decisions.
Impressive. Very
Just-
impressive.
I'm gonna say something, Punisher. I know that you're gonna say it's gonna happen anyways. Don't hurt yourself. I know I'm talking to a wall, but don't hurt yourself.
So,
On
now
purpose.
can you tell us about the hidden rules you know?
If that's what you want to know, I guess you couldn't have come at a better time.
Huh? What do you mean it's a good time?
Hello, Sif. Yes, welcome to jail. It's basically its own society, this jail, but jail it still is.
Leonid and those other pesky broke urchins have all gone to work in the production zone. I wouldn't want them listening in without paying up.
We get it. Just tell us already.
I'm too pretty for jail.
So, you know those pipes that make strange sounds? Don't ever, ever go near them at night. Even if you manage to avoid the guards, you might find something even more terrible there.
Don't go towards the pipes at night. You got it. I will absolutely do that. Putting on chunky space. Okay, you know what? That's definitely some decisions to be made. Good luck on your decision making. I am not useful. Sounds cool though.
Something even more terrible. Like what?
A group of cannibals.
I mean, there are cannibals in the jail. We have to go check it out. I have to go see what's going on.
Cannibals? In the Fortress of Meripede?
Look, the things that we've already done that we weren't supposed to is work 3 days in a row and make a bet on both fighters in the arena at the same time. And weird things are happening, but nothing bad's happened, I'd say. Hi, B. Cannibals, however, that's a very direct...
We'll be here in a second. I just need to get my food.
Yeah, food good. Food important.
Every month, they meet a few times in the dead of night. Rumor has it they might be connected to the people that have disappeared here.
Okay, so now I'm even more interested.
But what's even scarier is that they have a special proclivity.
Beyond the cannibalism thing, you mean?
Since they have no way to dispose of the leftover remains, they have ways to transform them into other forms.
Surprise, motherfucker!
And keep them in the
Hi,
fortress
Wristwatch. How you doing?
forever.
Welcome to jail. Yes, I decided today was a good day to I was feeling big robot today. So I went big robot.
Paimon might already know what you mean by other forms. So that's what's going on here. Oh, Paimon's stomach doesn't feel so good.
Oh yeah, congratulations, Wristwatch. Have a good time. Hello, Bibies.
You
I hope
two
everyone's
look
doing
pretty
well this
skeptical.
weekend. And or today.
No matter.
And or this
Learning
time
the
zone.
truth behind dark secrets isn't necessarily a good thing. I've got things to do too. I suggest you just act like I never told you anything.
Traveler, can we just trust him on this one? Oh, Paimon doesn't want her blood and flesh entombed here for all eternity?
Okay, first of all, even if it's true, do you really think cannibals could take me in a fight? Second of all, you can pop up and disappear into another dimension. You're fine. You're safe. Probably.
Oh, so that's how you see the situation. Huh. You know, Paimon does feel a little better about it now.
Let's get ready to investigate.
When will all the secrets end?
When we find Child and or break this whole prison down. One or the other. Possibly both.
Vidok isn't here. But the guys who went to work in the morning are back. Let's go ask them.
It's a beautiful day down here, 20,000 leagues under the sea. Hey, do you know about cannibals?
Just stay away from me.
Okay, never mind. What about you?
What? What are you saying? You shouldn't go around saying stuff like that.
Hey, well, you aren't helpful. Hey, what do you know about cannibals?
What are you talking about? Listen, you should keep your nose out of other people's business.
Look, if I talk about cannibals and you say don't talk about that, and you say stay out of people's business, I'm gonna assume that you're a cannibal. I feel like that's a reasonable...
Their attitude sure is suspicious. Like they're trying to avoid us. But if they're being so obvious about acting weirdly, do you think they might just be trying to lure us in?
Paimon, if we go through that line of thinking, then they're gonna know that we know that they're thinking that, and then we know that they know that we know that we know about that they know about that. Wait, I've already lost the thread.
Oh, this is all getting way too creepy for Paimon. So you mean we still need to investigate some more? Okay, if you say so.
They know that I know that they know that I know that they're lying. If Genshin has any relation to Honkai, as far as I'm aware, I mean, it's called the Hoyoverse. I think they're all, like, loosely connected, but as far as I'm aware, it is not connected to Honkai, the same way, like, Star Rail and Honkai 3rd are. But Bea would have more information about that after she gets her food. She knows that better than I do. In Honkai Star Rail... Wait, what do you mean, what? What's the question? Oh yeah, they're basically parallel universes. Like, literally, there's a character named, Welt in Star Rail that's literally... No, Yang, who's literally the same character, who's... Like, not only, like, are there... I think in Genshin as well, there's a couple... There might be characters that are... The same... It's the same character, but a different universe. But that one, in Star Rail, Yang is literally from a different dimension. Oh, then yes. Yeah, no, so Star Rail is even more closely connected to Impact. Thank you for the lurk, Bye Beast. Not good at explaining it, because I don't understand it fully myself.
Hello, Fielding.
What do you want? Criminals like you ought to be working right now. Catch my drift.
We just want to ask you a simple question. Have you ever discovered anything odd during your nighttime patrols?
Why are you asking about something like that? Whatever happens at night isn't your concern. All you need to worry about is getting enough sleep.
Well... right! We've heard it happens a few times every month. Paimon has sensitive ears, so it makes it hard to sleep.
Really? I see. But it's not like I'm on duty every night. And now that you mention it, I recall my colleagues talking about something like that before. They say that strange things tend to happen at night on pipe cleaning days. Lots of us don't willingly take those shifts.
So, what happens at night on pipe cleaning days?
And they just conduct regular cleaning of the fortress's drainage facilities. There are 3 pipe cleaning days per month. And it just so happens that today is one of the scheduled days. You can try to confirm the sounds tonight if you want, and if they're real, Then I can report the issue to my superiors for you.
Oh my goodness, what a coincidence. It just so happens that today is the day where the cannibals go yarr. We're gonna go find them, we're gonna go swish swish.
Oh, okay. Then we'll keep both ears out tonight.
If that's all, then I'll be leaving now. I advise you not to try anything funny, though. Even if I'm not on duty tonight, someone will still be watching you.
Don't worry, we don't want any time added to our sentences. Oh, he left. So what do you think about the pipe cleaning days he mentioned? Right, both are a possibility. But Fielding did say that tonight is a cleaning night. Paimon knew you would say that. Alright, sounds like we'll be up all night tonight then. Paimon just hopes the guards don't catch us.
I'm a master of stealth. Look at me, I'm a ninja. I assume you mean this pink fox lady. And this A. But anyways. Now we wait and we listen.
Oh, I'm so tired. But we can't sleep yet. They'll be cleaning the pipes tonight, so it's the perfect chance for us to investigate. Whatever. Just be sure to wake Paimon if she dozes off. Paimon's worried something might happen if you go alone.
I feel like Traveler's about to fall asleep.
Huh? Traveler? Did you fall asleep already?
Rest in peace, give it her best shot. Well, I don't recognize this place. God, what are you doing meeting with the cannibals? Quote unquote cannibals. Allegedly. Alright, that's a little bit freaky. Where are you going, sir?
Come on, wake up! Oh, it looks like you were just peacefully sleeping to Paimon. Well, what did you see this time? Really? So we're finally starting to figure out what actually happened. But what about the cannibals? How do you explain them? Okay, well it's about time for us to get moving. Just be careful to avoid the patrolling guards.
Absolute quiet.
Gotten my food, so I shall be munching while I
Okay.
watch.
Welcome back. Enjoy your food. We were talking a little bit earlier about, you know better than I do, the connection with Honkai and Genshin and characters being the same across universes.
Some characters being XPs,
We'll get in
yeah.
trouble if the guards catch us.
Which character? Which character, Sif? This one? Valid. But also this one. Also valid. Look, Genshin has a lot of good character designs.
This should be the place.
You know, I never noticed this ladder here before. How is any of this growing without sunlight? Frog. Hello, excuse me, cannibals. We're here for some food.
I know you. You were the ones we saw.
Huh. You've got guts showing up here. You know who we are, right?
Cannonballs.
You'd better leave now. Ain't nobody coming here to save you.
What'd you say?
All those rumors about cannibals and hidden rules were started by them?
Yeah. So what if they were? If you push us, we can make those rumors a reality at any time.
Okay, so all the weird stuff that you shouldn't do was started by you three dorks? Pulls out sword.
Hey, what's the point of all those rumors anyway? What exactly are you trying to do?
I don't have to tell you anything. If you turn around, go back to the dormitories, and act like you never saw anything, then I'll pretend that you never showed up here.
I love how confident they are. That'll make kicking their asses so much sweeter.
Yeah, scram. Nothing worth seeing here. Huh? What did you say?
Isn't that exactly what Boss said when he left?
Of course, Child was the one who started all this shit.
Hey, do you know our boss? Whoa. We had no idea our boss was such a big deal. He always kept his identity a secret. So, did he have you come here to find us?
Are we talking about the same character? Are we talking about the same Child here?
Oh, so your child's crew here? Seems like he had no problem fitting in.
We're the only ones who heard him say those words when he left that night. So unless he somehow told you those exact same words after that, All right. I guess that's proof enough for me. I believe you.
Dude, you look like you need some sleep. You like some relaxing, calm music? Maybe some tea? Actually, no, tea has caffeine in it. Do you need like some warm milk? Glass of water? Soothing tunes? One of those little lamps that shoots out like the stars and stuff on the ceiling? Actually, that sounds nice. I want one of those.
Wow, those dreams of yours sure come in handy.
We gave him the business for a while and would always give him a hard time when he first came to the Fortress of Maripede. But here in the fortress, the strong will always earn respect. He was working the longest hours and racking up wins in the Pancration Ring. You could always see how amazing he was, even when he was teaching us a lesson.
How come he was allowed to fight and we, well, to be fair, I guess we did kick Child's ass many a time. We're stronger than him, so.
So eventually, we all decided to follow him.
But one day, he suddenly told us that he had to find a way to escape this place, no matter the cost. He said it was because he heard that call again. And as his crew, if the boss wants something, then it's our job to get it done. So, we got to work and used the hidden rules that were here to make up and spread the rumor about the cannibal rule.
Okay, so the hidden rules already existed. They just added a new one.
We just wanted to give him a better chance of escaping on a night after the pipes had been cleaned.
Oh, thanks to your rumor, nobody would want to come anywhere near here, prisoner or guard. Wow, it sure is easy to exploit people's fear of the unknown. But hasn't Child already escaped? Why are you all still coming here after pipe cleaning day?
Because as far as we know, the pipe he went into isn't actually an exit. It should be a dead end.
What if he's just a really good swimmer?
It leads to an abandoned factory area, and even if there were a way to escape from there into the sea, we're still way too deep. No one could ever reach the surface alive.
I mean, he is a hydro unit.
But Boss still insisted on going in. It's like he was obsessed about it. So we told him that we'd pretend as if he never existed while he was gone, and that if he wanted to come back, he should wait for nighttime on a pipe cleaning day. That way, we could meet him here and help cover the whole thing up.
So you come and wait here through the night a few times a month just because of that promise?
Yeah, but it's been so long now. We already know in our hearts that he must have managed to escape somehow.
It feels weird playing these acts back to back as quickly as we are, because to me it's like, Child's been in prison for like, what, like 2 weeks? In my mind? But the way they're talking is like, it's been months. He's been here for like a year.
Is it also possible that something unfortunate happened to him?
Nothing could ever defeat Boss or slow him down. It's one thing we know for sure.
Okay. Paimon was
keep quiet and follow us.
The way up from here has been sealed off. It's impossible to get through. Boss
Maybe for
left
you.
by going down from here. It wasn't full of water at the time. Later, we came back hoping to have a look. That's when we found out it had been completely flooded.
What? I blame Child for this.
It's impossible to navigate unless you're an extremely skilled diver.
Or have the blessing of the Hydro Archon or whatever it is we
Child
have.
got trapped by the water?
Not likely. We all know that Boss was an incredible swimmer.
Really? Then have him come investigate. Pronto. Just be sure to tell us if you get any news about Boss.
It's getting late. We should leave before the guards come this way.
Yeah, we learned a lot about what happened to Child here. Let's get going!
Do we know an incredible diver?
Whew. We finally learned some key information. Seems all of our investigative work has finally started to pay off. When you said you knew a diver, you were talking about
Oh, that's right.
Fremine,
He is a diver.
right? If we ask Linny, he'll definitely have Fremine help us.
Dude, kid literally wears a diving helmet around everywhere.
Ugh. Why is Child like this? What was he doing going into the pipes? Not making our jobs easier, that's for sure. Fortunately, though, it seems like it's only a matter of time now before we find out what really happened. Now that we can finally relax, I'm starting to feel super sleepy. Let's try to get some rest while we still can. Nighty-night, traveler!
Oh, we finished Act 3. Didn't realize we were that close.
It's morning already? Paimon still needs more sleep. Huh? Wait, look over there! Isn't that... It's one of Linny's cards! Let Paimon see what's written on it. Maybe you haven't heard, but today is the monthly free day. Everyone has the day off today, which makes it the perfect time to do some investigating.
Everyone has a day off. Let's go sleep and accidentally be dead to the world for 12 more hours.
It's been a while since we last talked. Have you been making any progress lately? Let's meet at our usual spot in the factory area before lunchtime. I have new information.
Fine, nap after lunch.
Today's our lucky day. We have the day off. From the sound of it, Lenny's been making progress with his investigation. Wonder what he's discovered.
Talk to Lenny. Get food.
We still
Take
have some
nap.
time before we meet up. Let's talk with the people here for a bit more before we go.
Act 4. Cataclysm's Quickening. B, how long is
speed.
Act 4? I know that we're in the jail for a little bit longer still.
Depends. Maybe 2-3 hours, something like that.
We might actually be finished with Act 4 today. Ah, I fell.
Like it just really depends.
Look, there are some people talking over there. Let's listen in on the conversation.
Yes, let's announce our desire to eavesdrop as loudly as possible. I don't think everyone in the prison heard you, Paimon. Hi, Lady Devar. It doesn't, it actually does look like Midgar a little bit. If Midgar was,
If you ask
super
me,
underwater.
Those pompous parasites on the surface act like they're all a bunch of aristocrats. Do any of them give half a hoot about a bunch of dogs like us?
Hey, speak for yourself, mate. I'm no dog.
Oh, you think you're special or something? If you're here, then you're just a convict like the rest of us. I've heard that even if you're released after serving your sentence, going back to life on the surface ain't any better. Once a criminal, always a criminal. We're marked for life.
I don't buy that.
Hey, how cool would it be if the whole world was destroyed by a giant flood and everyone had to start over from nothing?
Hello, Monica. Hi, Mr. Convict, you are referring to the prophecy that Fontaine is going to be destroyed by a... Wait. Hold on. I'm doing well. Hope you are as well, Monica. That's an interesting thought I just realized. The massive flood that's going to destroy Fontaine and return everyone to the primordial waters. But the people in the Fortress of Meripede would actually be safe. You can't flood a building that's already nice and safe under the water. Interesting. I don't know if that's important, but it very well might be.
What kind of filthy bilgewater are you spewing? I have family up there. You best shut your sewer hole with talk like that. Listen, things ain't so great on the surface, but who says that you have to leave? I've heard that you can still stay here and work even after you've served your sentence. Not bad if you ask me. Who wants to live in the ruddy overworld anyway?
And what makes you think they want to hire someone like you? That's one of the great mysteries of the universe, how someone as useless as you is so confident.
Whoa. Sounds like they're really unhappy about the overworld. Speaking of which, Paimon never heard anyone use the words overworld or underworld when we were living up there. Is it only something the inmates down here say?
Which voice?
That's true.
The big guy? Okay, you were called the Grumpy... You were called Grumpy a second ago, not...
Anyway, I've already decided to stay here.
I have absolutely no idea.
Wish I could say the same.
Anyway, I've already decided to stay.
Wish I could say the same.
Mr. Sinister? Now, it's been a while since I've watched anything that had Mr. Sinister in it. I don't remember him sounding like that. I remember him being much more British. Why am I this team? I need to move quickly.
Hey, you over there?
Hi, yes.
Yeah, you.
Can we help you?
Say, do you like playing card games? You know, like Genius Invocation TCG?
You TCG players are like mint in the wild, literally sprouting up everywhere.
Hey, come on now. What's wrong with finding fellow Invocation aficionados? Anyway, care to join me for a game? All right. No pressure.
But why would you be looking for people to play Genius Invocation in a place like this? Don't people usually come here to fight?
Whether you're throwing down cards or throwing punches, it's all a competition, isn't it? It's all the same in my eyes. There are lots of card players here in the fortress. When I saw you, I immediately thought, hey, even outsiders from other nations play cards. So I came over to say hi. Sure.
Great! Since you've been here longer than us, you need to flex your seniority a little bit, right? Maybe you could start by telling us newcomers some stories about this place.
I thought you would have already heard everything by now. All right, then. Did you have anything specific in mind? Or do you want me to just pick a topic?
Why don't you pick? We'll let you know if we've heard it already.
All right. Have you heard any strange rumors since you've arrived? Ben, did you know that there are some people who are always gossiping over in the corner? There are two guys who are always skulking around in the corners of corridors gossiping. The bigger guy is Quisto, and the skinny one is Lavaroon. People call them the Bombshell Bros. I never really found their gossip very mind-blowing. It's pretty much just the same stuff that I hear about when I'm at work every day. If you're interested, you can go talk with them. They tend to talk a lot of nonsense, but they aren't exactly bad.
Good to know. Do you have anything else to tell us?
Let me think. Sounds like you want to hear something a little more tantalizing. Oh, did you
Get
know
juicy.
that the Duke was also a convict in the Fortress of Meripede before?
I'm calling it. He was a master of the Pancration Ring.
Huh?
I think I called that last week,
Wait,
too.
are you serious?
That's right. The Duke was an inmate just like you and me. Seems he was exiled here for committing some crime. Who knows
Well, that's
how he
real
ended
specific.
up rising up to become the warden, though.
he was here because he committed a crime. Like, cool, thanks. It's real helpful
Go
information
from
there,
an
pal.
ordinary inmate to becoming the manager of the whole place? I'm not gonna lie, I kinda respect that. A forbidden zone? Sounds like something that someone just made up. I've never heard of that. Where did you hear about it?
It's just a rumor we've been hearing, but no worries if you've never heard of it. Do you have anything else you can tell us?
Anything else? Not that I can think of, but I'll be sure to tell you anything interesting I hear next time. You'll have to play a game of Genius Invocation with me first, though.
You are a wellspring of information, my dude. Quite helpful.
There's a group of people over there. Let's go listen in.
Or eavesdropping.
So I said, that's not a faucet. Hey, who are you two? Why'd you come over all of a sudden?
That's a very reasonable question to ask. I don't have an answer.
Oh, sorry for eavesdropping. Sounds like you were
Shout out to the
talking
best
about something
NPCs in this
private.
quest.
The Super Mario Bros?
These two, they're the best.
That's what I'm calling.
What's the matter? They're just looking to join in on our fun, that's all.
Hey, don't pretend like it's okay for them to just interrupt us like that. Yeah, fine. You're lucky we don't mind extroverts that much.
You hear that, Quisto? We're nice.
Your expressions tell me you're looking to hear some juicy info, am I right? But before that, it just so happens that I know you two.
Really? Are we that famous?
There's so many directions that this could go, and I'm
You're
hoping it's to be
kidding.
something real stupid.
How often does anyone get a personal tour led by His Grace himself?
Oh, that.
Practically everyone was talking about it. Word has it that you also caused quite the kerfuffle.
A little mistake, huh? I like the way you put it. You see, people with a good attitude can join our group anytime, unlike some of the others here.
Your group?
I'm Quisto, and this is Lavaroon. People usually call us the Bombshell Bros, but don't worry, we're not playing with bombs or anything. It's just that our information is always so explosive, and we blow minds on the regular.
I'd rather play with bombs. Do you have bombs?
So, you two really like to gossip? Whew, you sure know how to embellish.
I don't have Klee. But,
No,
you know, I'm always down for
you
a
don't
little,
get it.
little bit of an
Knowing
explosion.
intelligence will make things better for you here. For example, knowing who's working with whom, who has the latest rumors, who's not getting along. Wouldn't you like to know all that? Whoa, all this info's worth something, you know? You should prove you're worthy of it.
I don't mind him. Quisto's always this way. Just play nice and say something to massage his ego. The welfare meals. Talk about the welfare meals.
Right. That meal we had yesterday was super delicious. Paimon can still taste it whenever she closes her eyes.
Is that so? To tell you the truth, I've been helping out with making those welfare meals. I've been working as a kitchen assistant for about a month and a half now.
Oh, so you're the one who made those delicious steaks. Amazing. You could be a professional chef.
You are correct. I am a true professional. In fact, I even went to culinary school. But enough about that.
You can pronounce culinary.
Since you like my cooking, I guess that means we share similar tastes. Listen carefully. This little bombshell will help you learn what's really going on here in the fortress.
I'm gonna call it 50-50 on whether or not it's actually some groundbreaking information or it's something we already know.
Listen, kids. The power structure within the fortress is quite complicated. The overworlders couldn't care less about us down here. We're basically dogs to them. You've already met the one person here you should never cross, the Duke, Risley. He knows more than you think. And if he doesn't care about something, then he often doesn't bother dealing with it.
Those who have
kinda
the Duke's
noticed that.
attention get all kinds of special perks. Even better treatment in the infirmary.
I know who you mean. It's that Jurier character, right? I don't think there's anything useful about him at all.
Why does he visit the infirmary practically every day? Is it normal for anyone to be going in and out of there so often? If you ask me, he's just faking it to get out of work.
But did you know that Churia was a talented researcher from the Fontaine Research Institute before he came here? There's no denying that.
I don't care if he was a researcher that could turn dirt into Mora. Once you're in the fortress of Meripede, you're just another inmate like everybody else.
I don't know, that sounds like a pretty fun party trick, if nothing else.
Speaking of which, the last time I saw him, he was passing by in the corridor with Lorvine. I also heard they started arguing in the library and got into a fight, right? Guess that's just how terrible of a guy he is.
You mean he hit a woman? Wow, I never imagined he was that bad.
But that Lorvine's also quite the odd one, you know? She's always gabbing away, got into a fight with a man, and she also got sent to the infirmary. Come to think of it, I always see her going to the sick bay every couple of days, too.
There's something going down in that infirmary.
Wait a second.
I wonder if Stitch
You
would
don't
know
think?
something. Am I saying that correctly?
Do you think could it be that they're secretly meeting there to go on dates? But it's really hard to imagine.
After all, I do remember seeing Lorvine beat Churia to a pulp that one time. And we might be overthinking things.
Look, you can't judge people for their kinks.
Okay, we've
Well,
talked
people
to
learned
just
that.
about everyone, and it's about time for us to go meet Linny. According to the card he left us, we should go meet him in the production zone.
The art skill is very adorable. It's nice. It's fun to just look at. It's also very helpful. He helps you climb up vertical walls very easily.
More speed.
Unfortunately, there's not a whole lot of that going on here. Actually, I never mind. I didn't realize we could do this. Upsy daisy. We have deliveries. Oh, and now we're done.
Yep.
Magic boy, where'd you go? Wait, what? I don't remember that elevator taking me down this low before.
Take it
Interesting.
easy.
Where's Magic Boy and his twin sister, the Magic Cat Girl? Well, there's one of them.
Huh? That look in your eyes. You found something?
Hey, this is no time to be modest. Just tell him we found a boatload of information.
Oh, as expected of the legendary duo, you have my full and undivided attention.
Now for the important part, what do you know?
I'd have never guessed that myself. The rumors swirling about this place are unreliable after all, and Master Child probably went missing because he found a way out.
I mean, that's what we thought too.
He
but
is
also-
a harbinger after all. I suppose he's much more resourceful than I initially gave him credit for. Unfortunately, this isn't enough for our final report to Father. We need to find out Master Child's exact whereabouts. Father told me that even though Master Child said he was just coming to Fontaine for a vacation, he actually had some personal reasons. His agenda might be linked to his disappearance.
His escape route is already flooded, so we'll have to task someone with professional diving skills to chase after him.
Well, when you put it that way, it's obvious that only Fremine would be up to the task.
Where's the
Bingo!
boy?
Is
We
he
actually, that's a good point. We haven't seen him since we got here.
He's working today. Coming here as a group would have attracted too much attention. I'll talk to him about it later. No need to.
He has anxiety. Let him
This
be
was always
alone.
a part of our mission, after all.
Me too, bitch. Me too.
Honestly, I'm far more impressed by you guys managing to collect all this information right under Risley's watchful eyes.
I have a feeling Risley sees us running around his prison and just says, not my problem.
Collecting information has always been our strong point.
Our strong point was beating the shit out of stuff.
Now, let me think. To find out more information, Fremine will have to retrace Master Child's original route. And if he's to do that,
Oh,
he'll
that's
have
the
to
thing that we're
set
good
out
at.
on the next pipe cleaning day at the earliest. That's
That
6 days
apparently
from
being
now.
lawyers.
And after that, he'll probably take another 2 or 3 days to return.
You can even estimate how long it'll take for him to get back?
We've been working together for a long time. We know each other's capabilities like the backs of our hands.
Hey, you're not gonna make us, like, go through every day individually instead of just skipping ahead, right?
Traveler, what say you to meeting here 9 days from now? We'll be able to pick up Fremine while we're at it, too.
Cool, can we just skip ahead to that day?
And
Do we have to
there's
do
just
everything?
one last thing we'd like your help with. Though we can just sit back and wait for Fremine's report on Master Child's whereabouts, we still need to make more progress on the investigation of the Forbidden Zone. Fremine's no master of disguise. Lynette's still working on getting intel from the other areas, and I'll need to spend some time helping Fremine prepare for his diving mission. So, you are the only ones we can count on.
What do you want us
Shocking.
to do? Will it be hard?
Well, I won't call it easy per se, but I think you'll be able to pull it off. Listen carefully. You'll need to find an excuse to get into the infirmary and investigate the room and environs.
I mean, I have a very good excuse for going into the infirmary. It's, hey, Sidgwin, how you doing? I just wanted to chat. Oh, she doesn't have to be here right now. Oh, we'll just sit down and we'll wait and we'll just have a nice chat when she gets back. Oh, my eyes are wandering around. I'm just gonna sneak into some of these drawers. Steal some morphine.
You've mentioned several sketchy-looking people always meeting at the infirmary earlier, so it probably has something to do with the secret we're hoping to uncover. You've already met the head nurse, so she'll be less suspicious of you.
I don't know what you're talking about, Sif.
Investigate the internal structure of the infirmary and any active
I
dealings
didn't say
within,
anything.
and pass those on to me alongside anything else you're able to discover. But also, there's no need to take risks. Don't forget, safety always comes first.
To be fair, I'm sure there's absolutely no illicit or dangerous drugs within reach of any of these prisoners.
No, when it comes to intelligence gathering, I'd never consider you to be an amateur. Didn't you
But
say it
also,
yourself?
can't hurt to
It's
look.
always been your strong suit. I'll believe anything as long as it comes from you. So, please prove your prowess to me once again.
All right, then we'll head out as soon as we finish our prep.
Boy has absolute faith in us.
Let's go our separate ways for now then. Don't forget, we
Because
meet
he
here
wants to
again in
kiss
9
us so
days.
bad.
Stay safe.
We'll think about it.
So just do his story quest. He wants to kiss the traveler so bad. But also, this is also one of the first people like outside of the house that
Hey,
he's
stay
actually kind
here
of come
for
to
now. Grandma will
trust,
take a peek.
Fair enough.
which is wild, because he's had like no one except his sister Fremine and like one other person that is talked about during his request.
And maybe father. Father count?
Yeah, even that's too kind of mainly because she took them in because because their whole thing is that they don't know what even
There seem to
adults
be
they can really
several
trust
people
at this
in town.
point.
That's fair. Poor boy.
Right.
It's not impossible.
I knew she was involved in this. Hi, Sidgwin. Hello, friend.
It's a bit hard to understand them from here, so why don't we just try to talk to them in person? Let's go as soon as you're ready.
She's adorable, but I still wish she looked like a regular Melusine. Potions are alchemy team. Oh, oops. You can take a potion back to. Okay, you're going very quickly, game, through the text. I didn't know what you're saying. Traveler does have a voice. She does talk every now and then. Just not super often.
Whoa, are you okay?
Oh my! What's wrong, little one? There's no need to panic. Take a deep breath before you begin. The traveler started complaining of a stomachache, and then nausea, and then collapsed onto the ground. Paimon doesn't know what to do! Freezing limbs, twitching fingers, and pale complexion? Could it be poison? Let me take a look. Please, lie down over here.
I love that Sichuan has the trans-colored fur.
Don't worry, I'll get you to the bed safely. Here, hold on to my shoulder and walk slowly.
Not a bunny. What kind of animal, what kind of creature would you call the Melusines to be?
The sea bunnies, those sea slugs.
Okay, that sea slug is what I was, okay, sort of bunny.
Yeah, they are usually called like sea bunnies.
After all. Now, please relax. I'm just going to do a preliminary
They also normally don't
checkup
look
on
like this. But they are cute. They're also a lot older than they look.
I see now.
Is it food poisoning? You can say it's food poisoning.
My checkup has confirmed that she's not in any mortal danger. That's our worst fear out of the way. Eh? Oh, that's good. But I'll continue my diagnosis of the patient now. Please, relax and take a deep breath.
Her expression's growing more and more.
Don't sense serious damage to your organs either. Does it hurt when I press here? And here? Huh? But based on my initial checkup, there shouldn't be a problem here. Oh, how strange.
She's a very good at, she's a good doctor. She's good at her job.
What about here? I understand. So that's what it is.
She's
I
figured
think
us out.
you just ate something that disagreed with you. That's all. Nothing too serious. Outside of a pretty bad stomachache when it decides to act up. So that's what it is. Thank goodness it's not anything more serious.
Oh my goodness! So thank you, doctor, for your wonderful work. Hey, what are you guys doing here? How's it going? How's your days going? Anything interesting recently?
About the food recently. I'll inform our head chef, Mr. Wolsey, of this problem as soon as possible. Congratulations! The health risk is incredibly low, so you should recover within a couple days. Why don't you take a rest here while I go get some medicine for you? Miss Levine, I'll have to trouble you to help me look after this new patient while I'm gone.
Very well.
And she hopped away just like that.
At least really hoping Sejude is a 4-star. She's a 5-star. I would not be able to handle this shit. Please.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell who they're gonna.
It's just mainly because we do not need any more 5-star Hydro characters.
Fair enough.
Do you know how many 4-star Hydro characters there are? There are 3.
I was about to say, I know Barbara, Xingqiu.
Barbara, Xingqiu, and Candace. We only had Barbara and Xingqiu until Sumeru came out.
I have all 3 of those.
I'm talking for 4-star to have that little Hydro for it to be that important of an element. That's not good.
Especially if you want to do any Hyper Bloom.
Hello. So how are you
Uh,
feeling now?
That was because that was even before Hyper Bloom. That like people want to run like Freeze.
That's true. Freeze is very important. Freeze is very good.
And also just needing Hydro for like very specific things in like the overworld. Only having those 2 characters. Because there are maybe like 3 Hydro characters at that point that you would have real access to, and one of them is a 5-star, and you'd have to be lucky to get Mona at that point.
If Miss
All of the other Hydro characters
there's no need to
Or
worry.
all limited 5 stars.
She's the best medic we've got down here.
Interesting.
But it
And
also
it's
looks
dumb.
like she's the
That is
only
kind of dumb.
medic
I hadn't
you've got
thought about
down
that.
here.
There are more 4-star Dendro characters than Hydro characters. Think about that.
Hold on. I know Kiara immediately. I don't remember who the rest of them are. No, Colette.
Wow.
I can think of 2 off the top of my head. I don't know all the characters. I don't remember them all immediately.
That's true.
There's Kirara, Colette, Kave,
That's really
not
misrepresenting
being
the
off the top of my head.
situation.
Yao Yao.
Of course,
Oh, I
I
do
can't
have
speak for
Yao
the
Yao.
whole fortress, but it's not like everyone imprisoned here is useless, you know? Though they may have committed crimes and gotten locked up here as a result, they still know a thing or two about medicine, and they help Miss Sishuin take care of the sick and injured.
Yeah, you're right. But did you have to lecture me about it in front of another patient? Aren't you a patient too? Where did all your energy come from?
That's correct. Sorry, I got a bit ahead of myself.
Are
Very
you
curious
two
what was going on
also
between
sick?
the 2 of you two here right here.
We've been sick a while. I come back every once in a while for checkups and to pick up the medicines Miss Sijween prescribes for us. That's just the nature of chronic illnesses. As for her, you could say she fancies herself as Miss Sijween's capable helper because she learned a bit of medical knowledge ages ago.
You both look a lot fancier than most of the other
Please
convicts
watch your
here.
mouth, Mr. Jurrier. Don't forget that you are the primary reason I have frequent heart palpitations.
Hey, don't start arguing now. Please, keep it civil at least.
All the files on the table appear to be patient records, and while there's a box, I can't check it out right now because people are watching.
Hey! There's no need to fight! Everyone will be released someday, so there's no need to argue over silly things like this!
But...
Release. It's way too early for us to even think about that. And who the heck knows if we'd even be able to continue our previous lives?
What are you in prison for then?
Please allow me to end this boring and useless conversation. Oh, and Mr. Jurrier, I don't want to see your face here again anytime soon.
These 2 are definitely boning, right?
And same to you, Miss Lorvine. Anyway, that was more than enough rest for me, so I'm going to get out of this excessively noisy place. See you later, everyone.
The joke that came out of these 2
He just slowly
is
walked
that
off like
they
that?
are just straight Haikave. That's it. They're just straight Kave, and I hate them. And you see how it is there.
Yep.
If it's a male and a female, apparently being like that's fine.
I'm sorry you had to see all of that. I'm Lorvine.
I feel like all Hatham and Kave are even more obvious.
Well, his name is Jurrier, but I hope you'll never have cause to remember
Actually
his name.
boning,
And
but
he's like, no, they're not they wouldn't date. And I'm just sitting there like, but y'all got these 2 right here. And everybody's like, these 2 belong together. I was like, then stop being a hypocrite.
You really can't stand him, huh?
I mean, can you blame me? Who would like someone who's as arrogant and obsessed with weird research topics as he is?
I was half hoping and half expecting her to be like, who would care about someone someone with that arrogant personality and that the stupid glasses and that handsome face and that that kind way of speaking above all this. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I'll accompany you two for a while. Miss Sishween should be back soon, and I'm sure you'll feel better as soon as you've had some of her medicine. No, it's nothing.
I'm back! Did you rest like you promised?
Does yelling at someone else count as rest?
Thank you for getting our medicine, Miss Sishween.
Did you all cooperate with your bed rest? I trust that nobody got up to walk around. Good. Here, this should be 2 days worth of medicine for you. Take 1 pill now, and then continue your bed rest.
I love her eyes. They're very pretty.
Miss Levine, I left in a bit of a hurry just now. Do you still remember if we discussed the color of the pill that you should be taking today?
I remember. You said it should be yellow.
Yeah, no, that definitely wasn't a code for something at all, with the way that you side-eyed me like that.
Yellow, huh? I understand. These are yours. Please, make sure to go to bed early after taking them tonight. You'll benefit from a good night's sleep.
All right.
Yeah,
then
that
I'll
wasn't
also be on my
suspicious
way
in the
now.
slightest.
I hope you feel better soon too.
See ya!
You're hiding secrets.
I'm going
Sidwin
to
is
fill
just
out
us.
your medical record now.
You just talk us.
You're
now.
widely known as the Traveler, right? I just want to double check a few details.
Look, we're
if
friends.
that's all right with you.
I'm a guest of Neverlet and a friend of Risley, sort of, technically, maybe, a little bit, allegedly. You can tell me what the fuck's going on here.
Commotion just now, so why don't we let the
He's like, you can give me a pass. I'm the friend of both your dads.
You can just call me Auntie.
So her primary symptoms are abdominal pain with secondary symptoms of nausea. Is there anything else? That's it. All right then. Is there anything we should know besides to take the meds? No, her base constitution is quite good. So I'm sure she'll recover quite quickly after taking the medicine. Please, make sure to stick to bland or less stimulating foods. And don't stay up too late at night.
Alright, look, how do you know what we were doing yesterday?
Paimon will hold the Traveler to that for sure.
We definitely didn't go crawling around one of the sewer pipes yesterday.
Oh, you're going to take a nap already? Okay then, you get some rest.
Your regular pace and relax completely. The weariness, blah. That's fair.
We've been to lots of places together. She may look a bit under the weather now, but she's actually super strong. Oh, so you're the best of companions. Well, don't worry, she'll recover soon. Ah, you're awake.
Oh god, is it the beginning of Skyrim?
How do you feel? You slept for a really
To be
long
fair, we are
time, but
prisoners.
we never left. Well, now you can go back without a worry in the world. Remember to take the meds regularly, and don't forget bland foods. Thank you, Miss Sijuin.
Hey, while we're here, we're just gonna... Do. Don't mind me, I'm just gonna go behind these boxes for a moment. Open up.
Yeah.
Run. Ignore me. Alright, well, I did what I could.
Seems like a lot of people have been coming down with an...
Oh, also, that doesn't remind me, I was gonna... Here we go.
Mondstadt has so many windmills.
To answer your question
doesn't
about a voice.
Well, the city is built above water, so it probably relies on windmills to draw the water upwards.
That's
Water,
correct.
I'm gonna
The
hydrate real
winds go
fast.
through Mondstadt all year, so this supply of water is very stable. Also, the windmills are what they call visible winds.
And I've heard that if you give tavern owners a considerable tip, they'll be willing to share some information on
Yeah,
the
there's a lot
download.
more... She talks a lot more in these voice lines than pretty much anywhere. But you do occasionally get some conversation out of her.
Take it easy.
Yeah, usually the most you get out of the Travelers, like usually maybe during some story bits or maybe even some character quests, and then like the Archon quest where you hear the opposite twin.
That's true, yeah. Yeah, it is interesting how quiet... I think it's in part because it'd just be a lot of dialogue that they'd have to record. Because a lot of your conversation that you do is like...
Projection.
options. Well, it's
Self-projection.
projections. There's that. I was gonna say it's also because a lot of the times that when the Traveler is saying something, it's usually off-screen, like a recap, or it's...
Because
you
even
as
then,
the
the
player making
Trailblazer
the
still
choice.
still does voice some things.
Yeah. But it's like, if they had to record every single, like, dialogue option that you can pick during conversations, it'd be a lot of work and a lot of money.
Yeah, it's more like voicing some versus voicing none.
Yeah. Well, other games do that, but it just varies per game, per studio, and all this other stuff.
And it's also mainly because you have to, because remember, paid voice actors.
Exactly, you have to pay them. It's very important. And your Traveler is the main character that's always here and always going to be doing stuff. Paimon is, if I had to take a guess, Paimon probably has the most like spoken lines in the entire game.
Paimon talked with Sijuin
I
the entire
know
time
there
we were
was
asleep.
a
She seems
thing
like
put
she's
together of
just
who
a
I think
sincere
Paimon does
nurse,
have the
and
most
Paimon didn't notice
spoken
anything
lines, and I
unusual
don't
in the
know
room.
who was after her.
Are you sure we're not going off track with the infirmary?
But yeah, I imagine if they actually voiced every like optional thing that the Traveler said, probably be up there pretty high. The movable hatch on the ground, as well as the question Sijuin asked Levine. Also, were they really talking about their meds before we walked in? Or were they just putting on a show?
Whoa, you really are super thorough. All those tiny little suspicious things that Paimon didn't even pick up on. We've got to get the info to Linny.
I think, like in Star Rail, the Trailblazer talks a lot more often.
She found a chart.
You found a chart. I'm curious to hear what it says.
Now if only this thing was bigger. For me to be able to see.
Is itty bitty?
Yeah, it's kind of small. But yeah, excluding Paimon, the next person with the most amount of voice storylines total, well, it makes sense, is Nahida.
That's true, because Nahida talked a lot. Throughout most of Sumeru, you're talking to Nahida.
Let me see. The top.
Let's go meet up with Linny.
That's actually interesting. Like some of the top ones, it's like Nahida, Venti.
I imagine Zhongli and
This
Child
thing
might
is
be
still
up there.
small. It's Nahida, Venti, Kaya, Albedo, Kazuha, Alhaitham, Yai Miko, Zhongli, Ito, Dea.
Some of those make sense. Some of those don't make sense. How is Ito
Some
so high
do
up
make
there?
sense because you don't know how you realize how important they are to the story. It just has not gotten there yet.
I'm thinking about Ito at this point, because like Ito, you don't really meet like in the main Archon quest.
Because this is pre 4.0, but you also had like this is in total voice storylines in total.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, because I'm surprised Child's not up there more because of how much he was in Liyue.
Let me just see.
Like he would definitely go up now because of his story quest and being in Fontaine, but.
Yanfei is above him.
Very interesting.
Did you two run into any trouble over the past few days?
But it's also because I gotta see if this takes events into
Events would definitely
account
be
too,
a big
because
one.
No, we just worked our shifts according to the schedule. Nothing weird happened.
That's good. That means you didn't.
Yeah, because the Archon quest one is different.
Infiltrated the infirmary. We've taken a look at the slip you've sent. Fremine successfully left the grounds via the pipes 2 days ago, and as of last night, Lynette has also infiltrated the infirmary after faking an illness.
Wait, why is she getting involved as well?
You already went above and beyond when you scoped out the infirmary. To put it more bluntly, even if we were to view that as something you did in exchange for Fremine's help, you've already done more than enough. Infiltrating a guarded stronghold is a different kind of job from a one-off investigation. We want to avoid using the same faces over and over and reduce the amount of suspicion that will fall on any given person. Lynette also felt like you have already taken the first step for us, so she should be the one to finish the job.
So that's what Lynette thinks. Oh, Paimon hopes everything's going well for her.
Voice storylines in the Archon quest one, so yeah, that's like completely different. Because that one
Perhaps
is
that's true.
Nahida, Alhaitham, Dea,
You're
Venti,
both very
Sino,
good
Wander,
people,
Zhongli,
and
Tainari,
you've come to
Yanfei, and then
appreciate that more
Yamiko.
than anyone else.
It's funny how many Sumeru people
Unfortunately,
were at the
there's
top of that
still
list,
one
but
thing that could get between us.
I
Lest
mean,
you
of course,
forgot.
Nahida has a lot of lines because
The
she's
matter of our respective loyalties.
talking through a lot of it. Because I think she's talking through a lot of people too.
she was mainly talking through Catherine, and in your dreams during the Samsara.
You
And
mentioned
I
before that you've had some
don't
run-ins with the
know
Fatui.
if this takes
I
into
can
account
understand
the
that feeling.
event,
So I
the
assume
Golden
you're just
Apple
helping
event.
us out of the kindness of your hearts?
Well, everyone could use some more friends. We'll be counting on you to help us in the future, too.
Mm-hmm. Since I see you as friends, then it's even more important for us to protect you from any peril. Fremine and Lynette feel the same way. Glad to hear it. Then, let's go check on Lynette before Fremine returns. If everything went well, then she should be wrapping up her investigation right about now.
Is now really a good time to go over?
According to my observations, Sigewinne always spends around half an hour away from the infirmary right before lunch. Lynette knows this as well, so this should be a good time to meet up with her. Also, I'm her brother, remember? It's only natural for an older brother to care about his younger sister's well-being.
Okay, then let's head over right away.
Do I have Ferminate? I do not have Ferminate. Like, is he one of the characters I don't have?
You could always check with the
Archive. Right, I was like, I know that there's a way to go look at them. And I just couldn't remember. There he is. There's our little diver.
Hey, baby boy.
Put on your helmet.
I gotta finish. I gotta get him a new Sans, but damn game does not want to give me an attack Sans.
I need to do more. There's a lot of grinding I need to do. I finally have enough runic fangs to do both Kuki and Yellen. Now I just need to get stupid gemstones.
Much boss stuff I need to do, but I'm tired and don't feel like doing it lately. It always leads back to artifact farming because that's what makes me happy for stupid reasons.
Huh.
Lynette!
Strange. Lynette?
Magical cat girl, where'd you go?
As expected, Sigewinne isn't here, but why isn't Lynette here?
No, Lynette rarely deviates from the plan. We agreed that if she were to make changes on the fly, she'd find a way to let me know. Unless...
Let's see if there are any clues around here. We can look while we wait for her. Who knows? Maybe she'll be back soon.
I mean, there is that hatch that's in the floor that we can go take a look at that we saw earlier. Where is it? Oh my goodness, would you look at that? It's exactly the thing I said we should investigate.
Ah, this is it! We saw it before!
Wait, this thing? It doesn't look like it's been disguised that well. The space behind it is empty. From its size, I don't think it's an entrance that is meant to be taken apart. There's probably a mechanism around here somewhere.
No, that explains a lot.
Could Lynette have tried to get inside? But if that's the case, she would have contacted me for sure. Let's look around here for some more clues. Don't panic, just take another look.
He's definitely beginning to panic. Don't worry, we'll find your sister. I'm sure that everything is perfectly fine. Don't worry about it. Don't remember all the times that terrible things almost happened to her in the past, including the time she was almost a slave. Don't
None
worry.
of the beds have any signs of having been slept in. Except that one over there.
That's the one Lynette must have used, right? You said she was pretending to be sick.
She would have said her migraine was having a particularly bad flare-up. Generally speaking, the head nurse would then ask her to lie down and rest, while she left to retrieve the medication. Which means, either the head nurse didn't return the entire time from when Lynette laid down up until she left the bed, or the nurse intentionally left it this way.
A clue. Perhaps a bad one. Lenny's about to be hyperventilating. I can hear it in his voice.
There are some books here and a few files. They all look like medical records. Advanced nursing, how to raise the spirit of your patients, a quick guide to the psychology of emotions, and the meaning of laughter. These sure are some interesting books. Who knew Sijun would be interested in these kinds of things?
He's a doctor. Some of those kind of make sense already.
She even has books on understanding people's motivations and feelings. Is it because she's a Melusine? Or does she have a need to understand her patient's emotional state?
Seems quite normal to me. These are skills that would come in handy for a nurse from time to time.
Column A, a little bit of column B.
She's like, these are some weird bugs for Sijun. I was like, no, this feels perfectly normal. I'm gonna be honest.
A slip of paper?
It's right over here, and there's a bunch written on it too. It reads,
Because she's a nurse and because she's a Melusine.
out of respect for your usual practices, I'll use a piece of paper or card as the medium to pass on my message. You may consider this as me giving you my best regards.
This is...
Is that all? The back. This is...
Show me! Now!
That is it.
That look on your face. Paimon's reading it now. Would you care to guess where Miss Lynette of the Fatui could be right now?
Uh-oh.
No. Could she have... Is she already...
She's been catnapped.
Writhsley. Did he deliberately leave the infirmary unguarded to use it as bait?
I don't know enough about him to say yes or no, actually.
Wait, you mean he was aware of our goals from the very beginning? But why? We didn't run into any trouble last time, and he also never reached out to us since.
Yes, that is a crucial question. Writhsley, he doesn't do anything without a clear goal or reason. So this means he had no concerns about your activities from the very beginning. You're not from the same camp as us. You were sent down here by Nervulet, so you have no conflict of interest with Writhsley. We're a completely different story, though.
Do we have proof that that's from Writhsley? Or are we just assuming?
I'd like to know that, too. Why did he only go after her?
Or did I miss something that was very clear?
Don't panic. Just think everything over. I have to stay calm. This is not like what happened last time. The situation's different now.
Oh, he is remembering the time his sister was almost taken away.
Wait, you're right. Wait, but that means the fact that Fremine was able to leave the grounds. Could Writhsley have let him go as well?
But what does he gain by letting Fremine leave like that?
So he's challenging me and trying to provoke me, I'm sure of it. We never should have sent out Fremine. We had to go through all that trouble to find an opening to sneak him around the guards and into the pipe, and we even thought luck was on our side. If Writhsley let him leave on purpose, then he's probably in a terrible spot now as well.
Lenny, I'm gonna be honest, you're doing a thing that I do a lot, and it's called, anxiety spiral.
Lenny's getting more and more panicked. We have to calm him down.
Oh good, I'm not the only one who noticed. I'm not saying it's not warranted.
Who's she's saying, telling them calm down, like that's going to help.
No, I'm not. Oh, but she is, yes.
That's what I was saying. It was like,
this is not the way
like,
to do it.
I saw the door, I was just like, calm down. I'm just like, I wish it was that simple.
No, I'm the leader of this operation, and I'm the one responsible for this team. I was the one who failed to protect them.
Deep breaths. We're gonna get them back. Everything's gonna be okay.
Hey, don't be reckless! Traveler, please talk some sense into him.
I simply cannot allow Lynette to be abducted again. I have to go. I'll find a way to get them back.
Alright, bye, Lenny. We'll see you later.
He's rushed out the door! After him!
Ah, he'll be fine. Of course she was there the whole time. What a shock.
Right.
Okay, that little devious
I feel
smile.
like we still have some room to make changes on these details.
It's not impossible, but it'll require extensive testing.
Is that so? Very well. Then please be mindful of the time. Huh?
Testing of what?
Is someone?
About it.
Pack everything up.
I'm a little bit worried.
Whoever's outside is eavesdropping. They'll probably come in once we stop talking. Someone! Please help! She's sick!
Whoa, are you okay?
Okay, wait, we already know this part.
These two. As expected, they've already found this place. Oh, they are quite sharp. What a delightful turn of events. I like smart people, but I also like playing dumb. I like the feeling of being trusted.
You are a devious little monster, and I love you.
Oh my! What's wrong, little one? There's no need to panic. Take a deep breath before you begin. Being able to read human expressions is quite the useful skill.
I don't know if you're... I don't think you're a villain, but boy, I'm getting some fun vibes off of you right now.
It's no use, we have to catch up to him! He's already out of sight! How is he so fast?
That's a good question, considering I'm yelling at the moment. Knock knock, excuse me. Mr. Rivesley. Duke, sir.
Come out and face me, Risley!
Aren't we at an administrative office space? Why don't you at least try to follow even a couple rules from the fortress's indoor management regulations?
I wish your voice was a little bit more gravelly, but you're still very cool.
What did you do to my sister?
I ran into the young miss at the infirmary. I'd heard that she was suffering from quite the migraine, so I decided to invite her over for a cup of tea. I do have some teas in my collection that can work wonders against such an illness.
Stop joking around! Where did you take my siblings?
I have also heard that your performances are quite the spectacle. Miss Lynette would sometimes enter a box filled with water, only to emerge the next second from another place altogether. Maybe she'll appear behind you right now if you were to turn your head.
Is he trying to trick me into turning my head? No, he's probably not looking to attack me right now. All of the hostages are in his hands, and he's even in the mood for small talk. That means Lynette is probably still alive. You
Entire scene is one of my favorites of this entire damn Archon quest for very stupid reasons.
You deliberately aroused the Traveler's suspicions and baited us into continuing our investigation, just so that you'd be able to kidnap Lynette. As for Fremine, no, you probably didn't even interfere with Child's escape. You let him go, so you could purge the Fatui members that we had planted into your ranks.
Lenny, maybe you
There was no need to do so. The Fortress of Meripede is a pretty pleasant place. Most people enjoy their lives here. The only ones who act differently are those with personal agendas. It was quite easy to identify your colleagues.
You removed our original members and spread the news of Child's escape so Father would assign our team to come down and investigate. Fremine has also fallen into your hands, right? If you're oh so omnipotent and so in control, why would you need hostages?
One correction. Lynette is in my hands right now, but Fremine is not.
He's not. What do you really want?
Lenny!
Oh, wonderful. Everyone is here, so I'll only need to say this once. Thank you so much for cooperating with me. Eager and to the point, I see. Alas, only Miss Lynette is currently having a cup of the fortress's finest tea. Although, as per your original plan, Mr. Fremine should also have returned to the fortress by now. But he has neither shown up within my gates, nor has he been taken into any kind of custody. So where do you think he may be right now?
Wait, you can't mean you locked him outside in the sea?
I closed the fortress's gate to the outside world. That's all.
Fremine's a star diver, so he should be fine, right?
No, we're still here, so he'd definitely try to find a way to come back for us. So we can't assume he might have made a break for the surface.
But why would I do this, you may be
Risley?
asking?
No, he does not have cat ears.
To have an audience with you, of course. My
Just his hair.
intel tells me that Mr. Linney is a great magician, so it's only natural for me to want to have some cards of my own when it comes to negotiating. Besides, I do recall you mentioning to Miss Lynette that you've always wanted to have a face-to-face meeting with the Lord of the Fortress of Meripede, regardless of whether it was in a personal or a professional capacity. Well, you got your wish.
So, you've been keeping tabs on us before we even set foot in the fortress.
See you later, Sif. Thanks for the lurk. Thanks for hanging out.
Some of my folks just happened to hear a thing or two, that's all. In any case, I will be straight with you. I was willing to play dumb and turn a blind eye, so we had a pleasant few days playing games together here. But once you started focusing on the Forbidden Zone, all of that changed. Mr. Linney, the cards are stacked against you right now. Miss Lynette is in my hands, and Mr. Fremenet is still slowly being pickled out there in the brine. You know just as well as I that he cannot last out there forever.
Okay, that sounds really dark when you actually say it like that, my dude. I wasn't like on your side, but I'm not like against you just yet.
They're Fatui. You gotta remember that.
That's a very good point. You make a very good point. They are in fact the Fatui, of which are absolutely our enemies.
Because it's like, we're looking at it at this point, because you look at it from both sides, like, yes, we are friends with Linny and them, but at the same time, Risley is running this whole place, and the Fatui are coming in and disrupting disrupting this whole thing, and that's not okay.
And also, the Fatui in the past have traditionally not been the best people to have around, no matter what. Regardless.
It's like, you see both sides, because it's like, you go through this whole thing, you think about it, it's just like, oh, Lynette's stuff, and then you hear what Rise is like, you're just like, but he does have a point.
Yeah. He's also like very clear, like, no one's dead, and technically they might be in danger, but only if, like, they can be brought to safety at any moment.
You want to see Father? But why should she bother giving you an audience?
Well, if she cares for the well-being of her dearest children, she should have plenty of motivation to join me for a parents' evening.
At least said, get on the phone and call your mother.
No, Father, excuse you.
I've heard that the bonds between the members of the House of the Hearth are like the bonds of family. I don't see why she would refuse.
Lenny really got called to the fucking principal's office.
That's exactly what I'm thinking. Like, this is just a fucking parent-teacher conference.
Why did you think Father sent us to handle the Fortress of Meripede? This place is basically a no-man's land. It wouldn't be fitting for anyone as important as a harbinger like Father to come here in person.
Oh, I see. So it's because she doesn't care for my place here. That's such a shame. After all, I've amassed
that was such an
quite the tea
insult.
collection. I was looking forward to sharing it with her. Both Monsieur Neuvillette and Lady Farina have already received many samples as gifts.
Was this the extent of your master plan to get to Father? No matter how much pressure you may put on me, I won't allow you to use us to blackmail her.
You people really are difficult to get along
That
with.
the only reason we're down here in the first place is because they wouldn't let her down here as much as she wanted to come down here.
But the problem is that she wanted to come down here on her terms, which, considering her position, is incredibly dangerous.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Lenny's like, she would never come down. It's like, Lenny, she tried to get down here already before.
That's a good point. You are right. I did forget about that little note.
Mr. Linney, you have one last chance to invite your father here. If you
he's not even, Risley's not even saying, bring her here, like, if she doesn't come here, they die. She's saying, invite her down here.
Yeah.
The end. Do nothing else. Just invite her.
Linny!
Instead of asking why I'm doing this, why don't you try to see things from my perspective for a second? From the very beginning, the Fatui has been actively infiltrating my fortress.
And especially when you call it a fortress, like, this is a military base in some regards.
Yeah.
It's like, yes, it's a prison. This is also, like, kind of a... To be fair, this is also, like, the source of their weapons factory. Is what this is. And it's like, an enemy organization is infiltrating your weapons facility.
I gave you a warning by cutting off the first few operatives I found, but that only caused you to double down. Had you given up on the fortress then and there, I'd have no reason to want to talk. Mr. Fremenet left the fortress on his own, and Miss Lynette tried to pry out my secrets right in front of me. No matter how you look at it, the responsibility for this falls on you.
I shouldn't ask Father to do anything because of us.
6, 5,
Wait,
2, 1. Time's up.
The fucking countdown.
It really is a shame, Mr. Linney.
Risley!
Negotiations have broken down. Please leave, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for my afternoon tea.
Yeah, listen to the Traveler. If you can't talk to Linny, can you at least talk to us?
You do realize that I'm only letting you go because of Neuvillette, yes? You're here helping him out, and I've already done my best to stay out of your way. But that doesn't mean you can just do whatever you want. The fortress may be small and remote, but it still has its own set of laws.
But if he backstabs now, it's not a good look against the Fatui.
Then how about this? Those who are capable deserve respect. You've spent quite some time investigating my home turf by now, so why don't you tell me a thing or two about what you found? I'll ask you 3 questions. Answer all of them correctly, and I'll agree to your request.
Okay, good. He's not just turning them over. I'm kind of like, that's a good thing.
Question 1. Regarding the hidden rules of the production zone, what is the truth behind the one about not being allowed to work for 3 days in a row?
Keep working out rest. During lunch on the 3rd day, you will find a portion of strange meat in your... Which did in fact happen. We have no idea what that meat was. Should be able to find the answer if I can piece everything... Oh! Doing this again.
I've been told that the infirmary is always empty for the half-hour.
That's not helpful.
The Fonta promoter has been struggling because he doesn't recognize the real value of coupons.
Nope, not important. Who will see it if you keep working?
We often see Miss Sijuin observing the prisoners at work near the production zone. It seems like she can perceive the general state of a person's health just by looking at them.
Oh, that's a good point. Sijuin would know just from a glance if you've been working too much. Now that I think about it, that hidden rule is very much a, hey, don't overwork yourself, motherfucker.
Fonta's internal reports suggest that they're starting a new trial of...
What that
the
one?
research notes said that the Melusine race perceives the world very differently from humans.
No.
According to Collins, the Pancration tournament only took...
This one.
We often see Miss Sijuin observing the
Under what circumstances is the strange meat?
I've been told that the infirmary... The Fonta promoter has been... Fonta's internal reports suggest that there's... The research notes said that the Melusine race perceives... According to Collins, the Pancration tournament only took place because the Fonta company sponsored it. We often see Miss Sijuin...
Or what's the... Wait, but none of these are the right one, because it's if you work too much.
The Fonta promoter has been struggling because he doesn't recognize
They do have to be in a certain order. Some of them are worded very weirdly, I will say.
Okay.
I've been told that the infirmary is always empty for the half hour just before lunch.
Oh! The half hour before lunch, she's out doing something about the strange meat, maybe?
Fonta's internal reports suggest that they're starting a new trial of an unnamed and unpackaged product. But the product...
A lot of reservations.
The research notes said that the Melusine race perceives the world very differently from
A sense
humans.
of aesthetics.
Because of that, the
That appear rather strange. She is the one who puts the meat together, and it looks weird because she's like, she doesn't understand things the same way. That's probably this one.
Fonta's internal report. The research notes said that the...
This is why it appears the way that it does. And under what circumstances does it appear?
The Fonta promoter has
that one.
I've been told that the infirm...
This one? Hey, I win!
Ah, so that's what's going on. Paimon understands it now.
The meat was probably perfectly safe. It just looks disgusting and weird and poisonous because it was put together by Sijuin. It's probably actually a health boost.
The hidden rule of the production zone. People are not
Paimon,
supposed
where
to
are you
work
hiding
3
those?
days in a row, and if they do, they'll get strange meat in their welfare meal. At first we thought this strange meat must have something to do with the people who disappeared, But in reality, they were all prepared by Sijween, the head nurse. She often visits the production zone to observe the workers' health and makes a note of anyone who has worn themselves out after 3 full days of work. Out of her sense of duty as the head nurse, as well as her genuine concern for the workers' health, Sijween visits the cafeteria right before lunch and cooks an extra dish for those who can use the stamina boost. Sijween has only the best intentions with her surprise gift and doesn't want anyone to find out about what she does. However, unfortunately, Melusines as a race perceive the world differently from humans, and their sense of aesthetics is even more alien to us.
Wait, hold on. That begs up a quick question. Paimon, are you human?
The recipients of her lovingly prepared special meals cannot taste the care within and usually just freak out.
Paimon, you said us, but does that imply that you're human?
Are we on the right track?
I thought you were like little gremlin fairy.
Not bad. You've uncovered Sijween's secret and even guessed her intentions correctly as well. It's nice to know that her efforts have not gone unacknowledged. All right, now for my next question. There are also some hidden rules in the Pancration Ring, including the one that you're not allowed to support both sides of a fight. Why is that?
Someone tries to support both boxes at the same time. They receive a package the next morning, which contains a strange blood-colored liquid. That one, I don't know.
I've been told that the infirmary.
No, okay, it's the same
Fonta's
stuff.
internal reports suggest
Oh, it's
that
the
they're
Fonta
starting a
stuff,
new trial
of course.
an unnamed and
I do remember
unpackaged
that.
product. But the product
Who sent
the
it?
Fonta promoter has been struggling because he doesn't recognize the real value of coupons.
Oh, okay, the Fonta promoter's like, hey, there's an idiot who doesn't know what to do with their coupons. Maybe they'll like this stuff.
According to Collins, the Pancration tournament only took place because the Fonta's internal reports suggest that they're starting a new trial of an unnamed and unpackaged.
I did only those who buy tickets
According
to
to
support both fights.
Collins,
Oh,
the
no,
Pancration
maybe it's not even
tournament
that. It's
only
straight
took
up
place
a
because the Fonta company
a prize. It's like, hey, you support... Nope, out. Alright, look. I felt like I was pretty close.
According to Collins, the Pancration tournament only took place. The research note said that the Fonta promoter has been struggling because
Had the right clues, just in the wrong order.
Paimon gets this rule too now, so there really was nothing to be afraid of. That hidden rule of the Pancration Ring is about how, people are not supposed to bet on both boxers at the same time. And if they do, they'll receive a package containing a strange, blood-colored liquid.
Got a very metallic taste to it. It's a little bit viscous. Besides that, though, it's probably fine.
People get scared when they see it because they've subconsciously begun to associate it with the missing boxer. But really, it's just a bottle of the latest yet-to-be-named and packaged new Fonta trial product. A blood-red drink. It's no wonder even Fonta's own staff were questioning the company's decision-making. The company, facing backlash from its own staff, decided to try to trial the product on a smaller scale to see how it might be received by customers. They came to the Fortress of Meropide and offered to sponsor the Pancration tournament so they could push their new product. But the Duke completely refused to even entertain the idea.
That Duke being right there in front of your face.
The Duke, knowing how valuable
Man really said silence brand.
knew that only total idiots who didn't understand their true value would bother buying a Fonta product here. And so, only those who proved their stupidity by being dumb enough to bet on two opposing sides of the same match were selected to receive the drinks.
Yeah, only idiots would do that. Which is why we received the drink the next morning.
I acknowledge the
Hey,
effort you've put
we
into
did our
bringing the
research.
truth of this mystery to
It
light.
was all in the name of science.
Although, based on your description, that Fonta promoter is a bit too careless with his words. I may just reconsider my collaboration with the company. All right, and here's the final question. What's the secret behind our head nurse and all of her patients in the infirmary?
Alright, now that's when we barely started to
Stop your
investigate.
cruel and pointless games, Risley! You know that we haven't finished our investigation, so there's no way we can answer the last question. The thought of sparing Lynette and Fremine never even crossed your mind. You'll pay for this!
I want to try to get into a close-up, like, fisticuffs battle with this man.
Lynette, you are a bow user. This man is a boxer.
I really wish there was a little bit more animation to that. It would have been fucking hilarious to see. I can't just imagine it.
Oh, close one. I owe you, Sigewinne. That was a fantastic shot.
Oh, that's what that is. He's got something in his neck.
It was nothing, Your Grace.
Oh, look at her tiny little gun. I'm sure it has a tranquilizer.
Everyone's fucking watching this like the baby's got a gun. Who gave the baby a gun?
Risley, obviously. That or she made it herself. It definitely looks like something she made.
Sigewinne... You...
Not at all. I am merely a resident of the fortress, and thus protecting it is my duty. When Monsieur Nervulet asked me to come here, he told me that my job would be to take care of the well-being of everyone here. I am merely discharging my duties. But if you mean what you just said, then isn't Linny someone you should be looking after as well? Isn't he a resident here just like the rest of us? But I really am just doing what Monsieur Nervulet told me to do. Everything I did, I've done to protect them. Had I not, they would be in far more dire straits right now.
She makes a good point. If she hadn't done that, he would have gotten into a fight with Risley and he'd be all black and blue.
His Grace knows it too, right? Your Grace? Mind proving my innocence to them?
My dear Sigewinne, whatever shall I do with you? Would it have killed you to just wait another minute or two?
Well, it's nearly time after all.
Thank you for the hydrate, Maya. Thank you for the posture check.
Can be truly frustrating sometimes, Your Grace. I figured I should try to talk some sense into you.
Welcome to jail. The baby has a gun. How you doing? And by baby, of course, we mean the doctor.
What are you talking about? What time?
Take me if you want.
You've been looking for a bit? Well, thank you for the alert. I appreciate it.
How touching. Can you just give me one more minute?
Don't be like that, Your Grace.
I have a feeling he's been fucking with Linny this entire time. Like, I kind of had the thought.
Oh, he absolutely has been.
Like,
he has
had
been.
the thought since the beginning. Like, 100% everyone's perfectly fine, and he's fucking bluffing his ass off, but he's got the best poker face in the world.
All right, everyone.
The way his
down.
voice is, you can tell this man is enjoying this.
Oh, 100%. 2 more visitors. Gee, I wonder who they are. Oh man, we're missing 2 people. 2 visitors are coming. Nope, not a clue.
I'll go get a cup of tea. Miss Sigewinne, I leave Miss Lynette in your care.
You... What are you doing?
I believe I hear footsteps.
Some space, please.
Ah, Miss Clarande. My door.
My door.
Fremine. Fremine.
What's going on? What is Clarande doing here?
Work.
Hi, ma'am. How you doing?
I'm sorry about shooting you, Mr. Linny. The tranquilizing effect will begin to wear off soon. Please take it easy in the meantime, though.
What happened to Fremine? Wasn't he diving just outside of the fortress? Why is he looking like this?
A flushed face, an accelerated pulse. He must have consumed primordial seawater.
Ah, hell, that's bad. That's very bad. Wait, how is he not dead then?
What did you say?
It's in the water.
That's
it's
right.
Diluted.
It's diluted.
It's basically synth.
Right. It's just a really powerful drug in this state.
Please, make some space. I'll need to give Mr. Fremine a more thorough checkup. Your Grace,
If he was awake,
I'll
he'd
leave
be
the
high
rest
off
to
his
you.
fucking ass.
I'll talk to Clorand while you get Fremine to where he needs to be. Everything else can wait.
What's that look on your face? I thought I made good time on the way back.
Oh, I'm just admiring your punctuality. Had you arrived just a few minutes later, Siegewien may have been forced to shoot Mr. Linney again. How's the situation out there?
The water has changed. It's pretty much as expected. The concentration of primordial seawater has increased significantly. I was only out there a short time, so it wasn't too bad. But if one were to stay for any significant amount of time, well, you can see how that boy's doing.
Where was he when you found him?
The abandoned zone at the end of the pipes. A good distance into the water.
Closer than I thought. He must have recognized it early on and tried desperately to swim back.
Locking the door was necessary. I don't think we could have saved two.
Well, I did try to convince him that I had my reasons. Never seems to work, though.
You motherfucker.
It would probably work on Neuvillette. He has a knack for picking out who had good intentions, even when the outcomes were all terrible.
It's a bad sign if you're having to plead your case to Neuvillette. Want some tea?
Not particularly. If you want to drink some that badly, just say so.
Fine, I'd like to get some tea. Want me to get you a cup too, since I've already made it?
Might as well then, I suppose. Actually, do you have a towel? I would like to dry my hair.
I like her. But no one should be shocked with that information.
Two, it's just women loving women, men loving men solidarity.
This one is examining Fremine carefully. She doesn't look too upset, which is a good sign.
How is he?
These symptoms are probably caused by an acute ingestion of a large amount of primordial seawater. Still, his condition is not critical. Of course, it would be best if he stayed for further observation. Let's leave him here for now, and move him to the infirmary once he's recovered a bit more. Sorry. I am aware that the infirmary may not be your favorite place in the world at the moment. We do only have a single clinic in the fortress, however.
Hey, he's not dead. And by all accounts, he was already in... By the time you walked into this office, he was already safe.
Why would
or at
he
least in the
ingest
process.
a large amount of primordial seawater after leaving the fortress? How could that possibly happen?
Please, look after Mr. Fremine for the moment. I'll go fetch some medicine and a respirator. Oh, I'll bring Miss Lynette back with me.
Where is she? How is she right now?
Oh, she's fine.
Oh, she just took a nap in an empty room after I tranquilized her. If my calculations are correct, she should also be waking up right around now. You might not believe me, but His Grace and I actually made some snacks and tea for her.
I love how calm she was up. They're saying, oh yeah, I tranquilized her, don't worry about it.
Put her to sleep for a little bit. I mean, they made her tea and snacks too. What else would you want? She gets tea, snacks, and a nap.
Linny,
Oh
are
god,
you
that sounds so good, actually.
I'll be fine. They're all here now. Don't worry about me.
Are you sure? You don't look alright.
My hands and feet are still a bit weak, but that's probably just the residual effects of the tranquilizer shot.
I mean, it did hit you right in the neck, so...
I'm back, everyone.
Lenny! Oh, Traveler, Paimon, you're here too. Fremine? Is he...
He'll be fine. But for now, please help me lift him up.
Then help from Renee also is. Boy wakes up and doesn't see any of his family immediately. Probably not the
His
sight that he
breathing's
wants
beginning
it.
to slow down.
Give me a hand and help me get him to the infirmary.
Yeah, I'll take him from this side. Lynette, together?
On it. Traveler, you seem pretty worried about him. Want to come with us?
Actually, I kind of want to talk with Brysley for a bit and find out what the fuck was going on here. But also...
The Duke and Clorand are gone. They probably went to get some tea. The Duke will explain the truth in just a bit. Miss Cloran will need a break, since she only just returned from rescuing Fremine out of the sea.
They actually should be upstairs.
I was about to say, before I leave, I want to go take a look. There they are.
Could I tempt you with some sugar for your tea?
No need.
Incredibly
Could I
straightforward and to
tempt
the
you with-
point.
No need.
Pretty much.
Alright, well...
Gays drinking tea. What else do you need?
I need one of the gays to be drinking tea with me. Is that too much to ask?
Take it easy.
Well, the gays are taken.
I'm into polyamory. That's not where the elevator is. Also, wait, who's Claran's wife then?
Navia.
Who?
Navia.
Oh, right. I just haven't seen them interact much yet. And you're right, one of them is always Electro.
Because they already had their whole thing. During it was Act 2?
I remember there being a little bit during that, but I have to
The
remember now
whole
that
thing
was...
about the stuff with her father. She's basically one of her father's last
That's
was
right.
for Claran to protect her.
I forgot about that. Claran was the one who quote-unquote killed him. I remember now. Dundid forgot about that little tidbit.
He's awake. Fremine, how do you feel?
Lenny. Lynette.
We're all here.
Where am I?
The infirmary, at the Fortress of Meripede, Mr. Fremine. And you are no longer in any danger. How do you feel? Don't push yourself if you're not feeling up to it.
Traveler. Paimon. It's been so long.
I'm surprised they let someone in here as a prisoner with an oxygen tank, knowing that they're a diver and you're underwater.
Again, Rise is not stupid.
Something wrong with the
True.
seawater.
Shh, it's okay. We can talk about it after you've recovered.
No, listen to me. This is really serious. There's primordial seawater mixed into the regular seawater. I don't know why it's there, but no one should touch it. Pipes. Right, the pipes. It's all coming back to me now.
Did you find Child's corpse by any chance?
I'm in. Seems like this pipe hasn't been used in a long time. It looks abandoned. Where could Master Child be?
We're the boy now. Look at us being the boy.
Son, my baby boy.
I'm really curious about something. Level 90, Royal Great... Oh, he's a Claymore user? And Noblesse Oblige, of course. Win C3. This boy is stacked.
If you don't want to pull for Eula, just get him.
It's been tampered with.
I already have Eula, though. I already won that.
Here's the thing. I thought about getting Eula, and then from when it came, I was just like, I don't care that much. I like him more.
Wow, rude to my girl.
And then I don't have to spend money on a 5-star. That I probably won't use as much.
Me over here, the only money I ever
Mainly
spend
because
is the monthly.
it's mainly because there's not much for physical support.
Nah, but
That's why
Eula's getting pretty strong though. I'm pretty happy with it.
That's why that's the thing about Eula. A lot of people are saying it's like you want a Eula. It's like the people who want a Eula rerun. Everybody's screaming, but who's actually going to use her? And then everybody puts their hands down.
Meanwhile, me over here with her on both of my main teams.
Yeah, it's just until they get better reason for people to run physical.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just fun seeing big white numbers. But even then, the fun thing about Fremine is that you can run him as either and both work, whether it be physical or cryo. You can do a hybrid and it still works. I've seen him hit stupid cryo numbers.
What's the stupidest number? Is it boobs? Is it the boobs number? Or is it just 420?
How much did I see somebody hit once? It was like... With a burst activate, somebody hit like a 65k?
Wow, okay, that is pretty stupid.
This is where the water starts. Okay. Master Child probably dived into the water. I'll go take a look as well.
You know, you could at least be wearing your diving helmet. You would at least pretend to look accurate. I know you have one.
I mean, they actually do kind of explain the whole thing about like why it's not really necessary because if you're a vision wielder,
I should be going in the right direction.
Then why does he have one?
To be fair, they kind of explain it's literally just to hide himself. He just feels comfortable with it.
He's just an anxious little boy with a big old sword.
Like you didn't get to do the event, but every time he'd get like embarrassed or kind of anxious, he'd literally just kind of sit there and then just put his helmet on. And it makes it kind of easier for him to talk and kind of face people.
My heart is racing, and it's getting harder and harder to breathe. What's going on? No good. I have to get back. They still don't know anything about what's going on. If I turn back right now, I should still be able to make it.
Okay, so he didn't actually get that. He wasn't even out to sea necessarily. He wasn't even outside of the fortress.
That's how much it's been leaking.
That's bad.
Yeah.
But also, when he said that he closed the doors, I guess technically Risley never said that Fremine was outside. He said that he was pickling in the brine. But he never said that he was technically outside of the fortress. He just said that he closed the doors. Which is true.
Yeah, everybody's like, he's a diver. Why is he wearing his helmet? I'm like, one, he's a vision wielder. Two, that's his safety blanket. It's like that one piece of clothing that you have that you can wear every day because it makes you just feel good.
Die here. This is bad. I'm feeling worse and
like me and my fin hat.
Your fin hat's very good. I kind of miss
my fin hat. It just makes me feel better.
Kind of miss seeing you in that hat. too long.
Have to push on.
Rest in peace, Fermine. You lived a good life, my boy. Ignore the fact that you're telling a story and we know that you survived this. What was the point of giving him...
So,
like,
in other words, the trail
actually
you were following
putting in like all the stats
vanished,
for him to be
and
super
you had no
powerful when there were
idea
no
where
enemies to
Master
fight.
Child could have gone. But there was
Immersion.
also no obvious
so.
place for him to have disappeared to.
That's right. I tried my best to swim back, but I had already put some distance between myself and the fortress.
The fact that
and I
they
just
even
couldn't find the
even
strength
his
to keep
fucking
going.
claymore that they have on him is a
Probably passed out
fucking
sometime
Stark Glitter
after
Shop
that.
one.
And you know the rest.
Miss Clarande brought you back, but we also don't know why she just suddenly appeared at the fortress, or why she went out to save you.
Miss Clarande, you say? I must go thank her in person.
You're still too weak, Fremine. You can go after you've had some more rest.
Miss Lynette is right. I believe Miss Clarande will stay here as a guest for another few days, so there's no need to hurry.
A guest? Then I can assume Risley was the one who invited her to come down here?
You should ask His Grace about that. He'll be able to explain better than me. Yeah, it's about time he actually told us what's going on. Wanna come with us, Liddy?
Only if you promise not to try and get into another fight.
No, please go on without me. I don't want to leave just yet.
Also valid.
Linny.
Stay with your brother.
The logical part of my brain is aware that we're safe right now, but I still can't bring myself to leave. Both of you are just in danger.
Okay, technically, he was in danger. She was taking a nap.
Understood.
Technically in danger, but
Then
also...
let's just sit together for a while.
Vacation.
In that case, I'll leave the infirmary
And
to you.
she got snacks.
The traveler and I are going to head out for now.
Free
as long as
food.
you stay in here, I don't think you'll be disturbed.
And like free food that's not just the welfare meal. I can't talk.
Thank you.
Yeah. Like food, like snacks made specifically for her, and tea out of Rice's collection. That you can't get any better than that.
Yeah, okay, do we have any rumors for 4.5 yet? Or is that still too far out? 'Cause I know
The
that
only one we know is probably Chiori, and that's about it, only because they did her trip marketing.
Because I know that next up is Zhao and Yai, who I don't have Zhao. And Yai's constellations only look super interesting at C6. Because her skill will bypass like a lot of your enemy's defenses, which is fucking great.
We have no idea other than possibly Chiori, and that's about it.
Yeah, I was looking at constellations before. It's like the only really good one is technically this one, but also
Usually, we'll say, usually a lot of 5 stars, they're good stopping pushes. C2.
yeah. Because I mean, ignoring 60% of your opponent's defense is also pretty good, though. But that's also a
Yeah, but
C6,
it's also a thing of C2 is where you would stop unless you are a whale.
or extremely lucky.
Either a whale, extremely lucky, or you were someone who has not spent like anything in this game and pulled any other characters, and you were specifically trying to get one character C6.
Yeah.
I take it Mr. Fremine's condition has stabilized?
All fair.
Because I've seen somebody do that, and they are kind of wild.
I've been expecting
They did not
those
spend
to.
a single
Might I inquire as to the
goddamn
purpose
thing
of your visit,
in
Miss
this
Seedwing?
game for any other 5-star character just to get C6 Farina.
How long were they playing then to get all that?
I think it was them doing a challenge for like to see how many Primo Gems they could accumulate in a year's time.
And Farina just happened to come out around the end of that year.
I mean, I think they had been decided that they're like, hey, when the Hydra Archon comes, I'll go for them.
Regardless of who the Hydra
And then
Archon
ended
was,
up
they didn't know who it was.
ended up. I mean, there were kind of leaks around, but even then, it's just like, and then they're just like, hey, I end up really liking her, so it's like, hey, give her C6 because she deserves it.
I wanted to check up on Miss Cloran. How are you feeling?
Mostly fine, I think.
If you don't mind, I'd like to perform another quick physical exam. It'll just take a few minutes.
All right. Thank you for looking out for me. I'll take my leave for now then.
Well, want to explain yourself, Risley?
He's a guy who likes a good joke. And also, even though he was like keeping them safe and alive and everything was fine, they are still technically his enemies.
Of course, but I'm not partial to the word choice of explain. How about enlighten? Where should I begin?
Oh, a lot of things actually make sense now. Oh god, that hurts.
Questions you have. You can start with whichever one you'd like to get answered the most.
Then Paimon will begin. Did you know about Lenny's goals from the very beginning?
No. I just knew they were Fatui operatives sent to the fortress by the Knave. As for their specific goals, I only figured those out as you made progress on your investigation.
I think that's all I'm gonna say is that his story quest puts a lot of things into perspective for why he didn't do much to them. That's interesting.
Risley?
Yeah, basically, I'm pretty sure he just went easy on them because they're young and he understands. He very much understands their position.
Yeah.
Initially, I thought their goal was just to investigate Child's disappearance. Linny suggested that I had deliberately let him escape, but in truth, I didn't really do anything special to help or hinder him while he was here. Everything he did, from finding helpers to leaving this place, he did on his own. Of course, it's inevitable that the Knave would make a big deal out of her fellow Harbinger's unexplained disappearance. I'm also quite curious about where that Harbinger went. So I figured I might as well let the Fatui do their own investigative work. All I care about is the answer.
Yeah, at a certain point, it's like, whatever happened to him doesn't really matter to me. The only thing but there's a certain level of personal curiosity for him. He's like, well, I won't devote any resources myself to this, but they're already doing it. I'm just going to watch them.
So you were hoping Lenny's group would just do your work for you.
Yeah, but it wasn't his work. It was his curiosity. There's a difference.
You make it sound like that's a bad thing. Unfortunately, things didn't go as planned. I assume that Fremine has told you already, the ratio of primordial seawater around the fortress of Meripede is on the rise. The Forbidden Zone has always been Linny's target, and you got roped into that investigation after running into him. I began to intervene out of concern for your safety, and also to prevent the fortress from becoming entangled in more irksome matters.
Are the rumors true that you're also a former criminal?
Now, why would you put it like that? Isn't staying here all day and serving as the manager of the fortress a kind of sentence unto itself? Another form of prison? I just happen to have some support from the rest of the inmates. That's all.
He makes a valid argument. If he's... Even though he quote-unquote works here... Well, actually, we all work here. Even if he quote-unquote is employed by the state, he doesn't ever leave the prison.
Oh, right. Paimon wanted to ask...
He basically chooses to stay down here. Like, he worked himself up the ranks.
Me, of course.
From being an inmate to the Duke, which is kind of wild.
Yeah, I just imagine that a prison in real life where just like, yeah, you know, I started out as a regular criminal, now I'm the warden. Like, what?
And now he's here making it better for everybody else.
That's true, that's actually a good thing.
As a champion duelist, Miss Cloran could be considered to be an independent party. I needed to find an exceptionally capable person to help me get through the impending crisis.
And saving Fremine was part of that crisis?
You can think of it like that, yes. Credit where credit is due, that boy is quite adept at diving. Had conditions not been as hostile as they were, he probably would have found the missing Harbinger already. That's not something you should be asking after. Neuvillette only asked you to investigate Child's whereabouts.
Okay, no, we've made him angry. He makes a good point, but we made him angry.
All I need to prove to you is that the Forbidden Zone had nothing to do with the Harbinger's disappearance. That should be clear now that you've spoken to Fremine.
But we've already uncovered that there's something wrong with the infirmary, and we've answered a bunch of questions that you threw at us. Isn't it about time that you answer our last question in return?
You make a compelling case. Do you really want to know the answer that badly?
Yeah, Paimon really wants to know.
Even if the truth may not be pleasant? Follow me.
Truth truth is rarely pleasant. Sometimes it's still very important. They say ignorance is bliss, but also... Truth matters. Oh my goodness, more stairs.
There's a hidden door here? And a whole basement behind it? Huh. You're pretty good at hiding stuff, Risley.
It seems you've forgotten just what kind of place the Fortress of Meripede is.
Hand up. It's a fortress, right? Did I win something? I'm just gonna say that I won. I don't know what I won, but I won. What is that noise?
Stand on the central plate.
Wait,
Yes, sir.
Is there a secret mechanism or... Whoa!
Paimon, you're not even touching the ground. How are you going down? Paimon, how are you affected by... I guess if you're hovering a certain distance above the ground, it makes sense, but...
So, this is the Forbidden Zone? Honestly, for a place so well hidden, Paimon sure doesn't see anything special. What a huge door!
There are 3 such isolation gates in total. Generally speaking, I'm the only one who's allowed to go inside. Hence the name Forbidden Zone. Am I correct to assume you're going to run on back and tell your little Fatui friends everything?
Well, Paimon wasn't thinking of keeping anything from them.
Well, I'd advise you wait until you've seen the whole truth of this place for yourself before deciding whether or not to tell them.
I mean, to be fair, as all the only thing I have to tell them is... Well, not even have to, but as much as I can tell them is... the Forbidden Zone is a place for the Duke. And the Duke alone. And that is the truth. Oh, hey, look, we're just me.
Huh. So there's a switch on the side.
Stand back.
You said that very seriously, sir. Why is this place triple gated? Boy, that terrifies
They all
me.
just went up one by one.
Go on, have a look.
I'm kind of worried about what's in this room now.
Don't worry about it.
What is so dangerous that it's behind 3 of the thickest fucking doors in all to that?
I mean, 4 if you count Rise's ass.
Or if we was empty, which is strange on its own. There's also a device smack dab in the middle of the room, which looks like some kind of
I've been
massive
interested in what
sluice
lies
gate.
beyond that gate ever since I assumed leadership of the Fortress of Meripede. Of course, it would be unwise to recklessly open it, but it'd also be risky and negligent to simply ignore any potential danger that could be behind it. The readings on that dashboard have not budged since the day when I first laid eyes on this place. But over the past year, the needle has crept upwards from its original position, likely because some parameter it's been tracking has changed, if only infinitesimally.
I don't know, it's kind of twitching a lot. How can you tell anything's changed?
Normally I would have ignored it, but I happened to have some free time when I noticed it, so I investigated. Any guesses what the reading could be tracking?
The water pressure, the temperature, the ratio of primordial seawater?
Very reasonable guesses. I've considered both of those as well. Unfortunately, our dashboard is tracking something less ordinary.
Primordial seawater, primordial
The
seawater.
temperature should vary with weather and climate changes, so for something that rarely shifts, the water pressure is more likely. We ran a few tests to increase the pressure from the outside, but the readings didn't change at all. Later on, a few more possibilities occurred to me, such as a potential connection with the primordial sea. I began to make a few preparations based on that hypothesis. Over the past few days, the needle has moved again. With that, and the symptoms that Fremine displayed after leaving the fortress, I can now confidently conclude that the readings represent the concentration of primordial seawater in the seawater nearby.
Called it. I knew it. I'm the best.
The concentration of primordial seawater? But we're already under the sea!
Don't start singing. You're not a crab.
And that is precisely the problem. We're at the bottom of the sea, and now we're surrounded by toxic seawater. Somehow, primordial seawater got mixed in, and the concentration is steadily rising.
And if this place has a leak and were to burst open, everyone in here would be fucking dead. Dead more so than they would be under normal circumstances if there was a leak.
Yes, that's very likely.
But forget about the two of us. Not even Neuvillette knows where the primordial sea could be, much less where we could find and plug a leak. Oh. Oh!
I think she's figured it out. I think I was right about this fortress being a military base. I think it's basically I think this fortress is the plug.
Seems like you've figured it out.
This dashboard is an indicator for how dangerous
I believe
all
the
of Fontaine
primordial
is.
sea lies directly beneath this sluice gate. For some reason, the primordial seawater levels have risen significantly, and it's now very close to us. The indicators are now red. Although the gate still stands, some primordial seawater has already leaked out and mixed into the sea around us.
Uh-oh.
If this continues, soon it will no longer be able to hold back the primordial sea at all.
And the water levels will rise. And a tidal wave will happen, a tsunami, and all of Fontaine will be hit by water that turns everyone else into water. Lovely.
Yeah, you know what the legends say. If this place falls, then everyone in Fontaine will be turned into puddles in the span of a night.
Or at least everyone that was born in Fontaine.
But that's just too weird! Why would the Fortress of Meripede be built right above a sluice gate for the primordial sea? Who built this place anyway?
Your expression tells me you think this might be part of a vast, complicated conspiracy. To be honest, you might find the actual answer may be exceedingly boring. It's just that the secret of the Forbidden Zone had been long forgotten by the nation before I rediscovered it with my research. There's no single founder of the Fortress of Meripede in any traditional sense. What we know about its history has been left to us by the people who used to live here. When the previous Hydro Archon, Egeria, ruled the land, all convicted criminals from Fontaine were exiled. The people drove the criminals away like a wolf pack chasing away the
I think
banished.
it's the first time we've heard the name of the previous Hydro Archon.
The criminals
It
received
isn't.
no sympathy
It's,
of any
then I
kind
just
from the
don't
people.
remember it.
They were exiled to the desolate seaside, where they experienced only pain, struggle,
Because I
and
think
the
we
bone-chilling
both
cold.
heard it somewhere else, but that she is also talked about in World Quest.
I don't count. I mean, in the Archon quest, I don't count
But
that.
I think she is talked about in the Archon Quest already.
If she was, then I just don't remember it, which is, very likely.
Some
like
of them
me.
began to repent and prayed to the Hydro Archon, asking if there was still anything they could do.
To be fair, it is very important for the
Hydro
World Quest since
Archon
we
took
did basically
pity
find where she
and said,
died.
"You may go guard my secret, deep underneath the waves." And so, leaning on the power of the Hydro Archon, they gathered underneath the sea and began to build a fortress. They became a community down there in the deeps, and over the years helped it to grow. As the number of exiles increased, more and more people joined the community. When the first group of exiles died, they left the yet unfinished fortress to their successors. The Hydro Archon continued to lend her support, allowing the fortress and what it stood for to continue growing ever larger. Before long, this dark underwater fortress became the sinner's only home. And with that, the people here stopped referring to the fortress as a prison. They saw themselves as repenting sinners who would regain their freedom once they had sufficiently redeemed themselves. But as time went on, people also realized that the fortress was a lonely place. Once they had gotten used to life here, they could no longer feel comfortable living in the overworld. Once they had finished serving their sentences, some people left and some others chose to stay. They'd find some idle position and let their withered souls fade away with the ancient secrets of the past. After many, many centuries, few people still remember the reason for the fortress's founding. Now they just see it as an integral pillar of Fontainian society, as the place where criminals deserve to be sent. Now and again, researchers manage to break one law or another and live out their days in the fortress. I learned all this from an elderly historian. Everyone else just thought he'd made it all up.
But now you know every part of that history is true.
Indeed. It's just as the prophecy says. If this gate fails, then everyone will be dissolved into the sea.
So basically, it was less a prophecy and more a warning of, hey, make sure this shit doesn't fail. Keep up maintenance. Proper maintenance is very important. It wasn't a prophecy.
Oh, I mean, it technically is. It's going to happen, regardless of what they do.
Well, I mean, it'll happen eventually, but also it's a warning of, hey, keep an eye on this fucking gate.
To be frank, not really. But sadly, that hasn't stopped this prophecy
I
from
mean, if
proving all
Celestial
too
wants
accurate.
you dead, they're gonna make sure you die.
Curse you, heaven!
Prophecies are troublesome things. Just hearing one will create the first wave of panic. Seeing signs of it will bring about the second, and actually witnessing it in real time, the third. Let's go somewhere else. I want to show you something.
You still have more things to show? I feel like this is kind of the last thing to show. This was kind of everything.
This is it.
Oh, hi, it's these two.
Your Grace, perfect timing. The results from our last round of experiments have...
Wait, Jurier, he's not alone.
Hey, idiots, we were right behind him the whole fucking time. Also, we're with him. It's fine. Keep talking.
Huh? Lorvine and Jurier?
No need to panic, you two. I've already told them about our plan.
What? After you warned us not to tell a single soul about any of this?
I'm skeptical as well. Are you sure they are trustworthy?
I have taken down more monsters and more gods in my time than you will ever know.
To be fair, they don't know that.
I know, that's why I'm telling them.
They're
The
too
results
busy
speak
trying
for
not to
themselves,
die.
Don't they? These two may already know more than you could ever imagine.
All right then, if Your Grace insists.
They seem harmless enough, so I'll trust them for now.
Also, he's your boss. He's the one who tells you not to tell people. If he tells someone, it's fine.
Well, how about some reintroductions? This is Jurier, one of the highest-ranked researchers from the Fontaine Research Institute. He used to work under Edwin. I trust that you've heard of Edwin? Good. Saves me a bit of time explaining.
I should have said who.
Edwin's main areas of research were archaeum and gravimeters.
So,
As his assistant,
you heard that whole thing
Jurier
about
is
the
quite familiar with them as well.
about the research
I hired
institute
him
getting
to be my
blown up,
technical
right?
consultant.
I know that you've talked about it. I think we...
Yeah, Edwin did that.
Why?
Edwin did that.
Why? Did you do it on purpose?
There is an entire world quest about what's going on with that. It's a long story.
Research place go boom.
That
Science is dangerous.
that also kind of ties into the actual main Archon quest. So I can't really talk about that because that kind of goes into some Act 5 stuff.
Which we should be getting close to.
You want to blow up the fortress of Meripede?
Ah, what a lovely idea. I'm already imagining it in my head.
Gotta admit, I'm tempted as well.
It does sound like... How big of an explosion are we talking? Like, it's underwater, so it's going to be a very interesting kind of... You know what? We can talk about physics later.
Guys, focus! Focus!
Oh, but we want to talk about explosions. Dynamite, C4, nitroglycerin.
That taskmaster over there is Miss Lorvine, and is also one of my technical consultants. While Jurier used to be Edwin's assistant, she used to be Jurier's assistant.
Ooh, are they together?
I'm on. We've already talked about this.
See, everyone keeps asking this question. Are you too sure you're not a couple and just using your work as a convenient cover?
Wow, even the game acknowledges this joke we were talking about earlier.
Your Grace, I am not in a relationship
So I
with
said
this man.
they are Kave, and I'll hate them if they were straight.
Mm-hmm. And if Genshin and if Hoya was allowed to actually make them as gay as they wanted them to be.
Exactly.
If I dated her, I'd officially be madder than Edwin.
Jeez, forget I said anything then.
I see that smirk, you little bastard.
Follow me.
Whoa, there's another door that goes right up.
Your constant amazement makes it seem like the fortress can do anything.
It's always fun to have Paimon around because she just has so much energy. So much excitement in that tiny little body. I don't know where she stores it, like all of her food.
Paimon really thinks everything's super cool.
Well, let's spice it up a bit. And here you go.
Oh, that's cool.
What a huge ship?
Please call it the Ark.
This is also a production zone that Paimon's never seen before. What's going on?
How much do you know about Fontainian history?
Yeah, don't ask me that question.
Not much at all.
Well, then maybe you haven't heard the story of ancient Lemuria. To give you a quick rundown, Fontaine used to be ruled by the Lemurian dynasty. According to legend, the Lemurian king Remus came to this land after being inspired by divine revelation and found the seer Sibila, who had taken on the form of a golden bee.
Golden bee,
Taking
that's
the
you.
golden bee with him and riding on a huge ship, the Fortuna, he created his nation above the surging waves. He called his nation Lemuria and used the Fortuna to incessantly search for new tribes and islands, calling on them to join his empire.
There's a ship in this story too?
Where there's water, there'll be ships. People believe that hope can always be found at the end of a voyage.
Do you believe that too?
To a point, I think. As you've already seen, I have a whole factory's worth of labor, materials, and technology at my disposal. Certainly can't hurt to give it a try. So the moment I began to speculate that the primordial sea might lie underneath the gate, I also began this project.
Were you inspired by the legendary Fortuna?
Maybe. Fontainians need something to hold on to cope with the impending disaster. Were the workers to find out the truth behind this ship, riots would destroy the fortress faster than any catastrophe. As the fortress's administrator, I'd never make such a reckless call. All right, that's enough talking for now. I'll need another 3 cups of tea to soothe my throat. Do you have any other questions?
Yes, quick question. Where can I get your coat? Where can I buy that? Is it custom made? It looks like it might be custom made.
Seems like you're good. Come on, I'll take you back.
Wait, no, are you ignoring my question about the coat? Sir? Sir? Sir, the coat?
I'll leave you here for now.
Oh, thank you so much.
No worries. But don't forget, it's up to you whether or not you want to share what you just saw. What you do from here on out will likely affect those 3 as well.
You know what I kind of want to do? I like that wolf crest he's got. I kind of want to remake that and print it. I definitely could.
That'd be cool.
I want to remind me to do that later. I want to remind me to... I don't know... either look to see if it already exists online or just make my own. It would probably not take me very long. If I want to tell Lenny the truth, I must make him understand that we cannot afford excessive conflict right now.
We'll put a lot of thought into it for sure.
Great. I look forward to what happens next.
It's just such a cool little crest design that has
That
nothing
actually
to do
reminds me,
with anything else.
I gotta send you some of those videos of some people, of this guy who makes Genshin weapons. And puts like LEDs and stuff in them.
That's cool. I love
Yeah, he
that
did
stuff.
one of Navia's axe. It's so good.
I love that kind of stuff. I just don't necessarily have the tools and the time to do that to it.
Yeah, that it's a lot of like wood sanding and stuff.
Which like I feel like I could get the knowledge together to do it. I just don't have the time and the space.
Yeah, time, space, and equipment and all that stuff.
Especially like every time, quick tangent before we go, like watching like Adam Savage and just doing like making costumes and props and minis and stuff on YouTube. It's like, oh god, it's so fucking cool. But anyways, what were we doing? Doing stuff. There's a waypoint here I haven't gotten. I feel like I should grab that.
I don't think I think that was quest locked, I think.
Okay, can't do that one yet. That's what I thought. Because like I feel like we would have passed it by now.
Like, if it's the one I'm thinking about, I think it's quest locked.
Welcome back. Do you want a cup of tea?
How can you be so much like Risley, always drinking tea?
Huh. Actually, now that you mention it, I just remembered something now. While I was sedated, I could still barely hear 2 people talking next to me. They were discussing everything, from the leaves, to the water, and even the teacups themselves.
Must have been Risley and Seishween.
Yeah, I heard 1 male voice and 1 female, so it should have been the 2 of them. They really were just talking about brewing tea.
I really can't make sense of this place.
So, Traveler, Paimon, were you able to learn anything from Risley?
Yeah, he explained
Risley is just aggressively British.
Very well. Then, would you mind checking your answers against my speculations? Yeah, I took the time to rest, so I'm feeling a lot more relaxed now.
Nobody else is around, and Miss Sijwin is also busy with something or other. So let's just talk here.
All right, then I'll posit my theories. I asked myself 3 questions. Firstly, why was Fremine affected by the primordial seawater? It was because he dove into the sea. My theory is, the long-lost primordial sea is probably very close to the fortress of Mirapede.
I can't stop thinking about how much I love this music.
Ooh, he's good. He got that right on the first try.
I thought we were gonna think about this more to see how much we told them.
That's our Lenny.
Secondly,
Oh, he's already
Risley's
figuring it out.
attitude changed dramatically during the course of our stay here. He ignored us completely at first, then suddenly roadblocked us. Why? I spent quite a long time thinking about this. If he has been monitoring the Fatui since the very beginning, he probably ignored us at first because he was hoping we could find Master Child for him. What's more, the Fortress of Mirapede is not part of Fontaine's court system, nor does it report to Udex Nervulet. Risley is basically the king of a no-man's land. As long as the fortress doesn't do anything about Master Child's disappearance, Father can use it to pressure the Fontaine authorities. And while the 2 factions are pitted against each other, Risley will be free to move between the parties of interest. If I had to guess, he probably has something that he's working on himself. It's likely related to the secret of the infirmary, but I just can't think of what it could be.
You're super smart.
Thanks so much. Then finally, there's the last question. If Risley does have a plan, what could it be? All I know for now is that his plan probably has something to do with the changing nature of the seawater. He's even gotten Cloran to help him out. That can't be the full extent of what he's doing. There's probably a secret passageway behind the block in the infirmary, and there's something big in the fortress that most people here never get to see. He has a bargaining chip, and it could be important enough for Father to deal with him directly. I don't have enough information, so I have no idea what his chip might be. But let me guess. You have the last piece of the puzzle.
Here's the information you just learned. Yay! Not even thinking about it. Ow, thank you for the hydrate, Monica. Thank you for the posture check.
I can't believe it.
Fetching in water, you got it.
The sea will engulf everyone. Just like the prophecy said.
You're all gonna die. Isn't that lovely?
Could Risley have wanted to meet Father to figure out a way to deal with this crisis? If you remember, I once mentioned that Father sees the House of the Hearth as her base of operations, and she truly wants to resolve the crisis. But how could Risley have known that?
Or perhaps he didn't know, and just wanted to bring Father over to his side? Which could be why he said he just wanted to negotiate.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. I understand your concerns as well, Traveler. I'll figure out a way to pass this on to our father. No matter what, we're on your side.
You also give your father my number?
The 2 of you have already aided us far too much. We probably wouldn't be standing here right now if not for you. If you ever need anything else going forward, please come to the House of the Hearth at any time. Though you may not share the sentiment, after all that we've gone through together, the 3 of us basically see you as family now.
I never realized how tall Lenny was.
You have my gratitude.
Thank you for protecting Lenny.
A lot
Really
of height
hard.
comes from his hat.
And thank you for sharing
Yeah,
the
but
secrets
even
of
without
the
that, he's
fortress
still
with
taller
us.
than the Traveler.
We didn't think you were going to do
I
that.
mean, most characters are taller than Traveler.
That's fair.
Why are you being so formal all of a sudden?
Well, it's more to be fair that the short male model is still taller. It's still taller than the short female model by like a
Yeah.
little bit.
There's 5 different character models basically. There's the
Like
shrimps.
it's tall, maybe except for a few. Xiao's just short.
Yeah.
Given your strength, you might not need our help at all. But if you are ever in danger, we will try our best to protect you.
Aw, the sound of that makes Paimon feel all warm and safe inside.
Paimon, I think you're just hungry.
Paimon's hungry.
Oh, you've done so much already. Go get some food.
Alright, then we'll catch you guys another time.
Okay, so we discovered the secret of the Forbidden Zone. We know what's going on underneath the fortress.
Take it easy.
So we've definitely uncovered all the secrets we were here for, and we're definitely not forgetting anything important. Not at all. Nothing important to be left behind. We can leave whenever we want. There's definitely not a Harbinger-sized... Ow, really?
It's time for dinner. Welfare meals now being served in the coupon cafeteria.
You realize you just killed Yellen with that broadcast, right?
Come on, let's go pick up ours as well. Traveler and Paimon, over here. Are you here for dinner too, Miss Sijwin?
And I'm taking the opportunity to prepare Miss Cloran's dinner as well.
Huh. You're right. She's actually sitting in the fortress cafeteria.
What would you like to eat? Yep, you can. I've already talked to our chef, Mr. Woolsey. It's all on me today, so you can get whatever you'd like.
Tastiest stuff. I don't care about the biggest question.
No problem. Just leave it to me.
Food good. Food very good. The steaks taste terrible. That was moving too fast for me to read everything, but at least I got that much.
Paimon's so happy. Paimon wants to feast like this every day.
Feeling full yet? How's the food?
Delicious.
I'm so glad to see you all so happy. Oh, see, the expression on your face just now? The muscle here just moved, which suggests that you're feeling quite relaxed at the moment.
Sijwin, do you do this to help your patients or to better understand human beings?
Can't the answer be both?
A bit of both, I suppose. I'm a Melazine, which means I'm very different from human beings. I must know what you're thinking if I want to take good care of you.
You're really good at taking care of people. Even though you're so short, you still talk and act like an older sister.
Really? You're reminded of an older sister? That's great to hear.
Oh, and what did you mean back in Risley's office? When you said that you were protecting Linny and his siblings as well.
Oh, that. I just asked.
I love how they brushed over the, even though you're so short.
Especially because everyone's taller than Paimon, including Sijwin. But also, they haven't really stated how old Sijwin is. Like, they keep calling her, like, short and, like, treating her a little bit like a child. It's like, I don't think she's actually that young. But I don't know.
We have no fucking clue.
Thankfully, Cloran is very strong and managed to save him in the nick of time. His Grace also sealed the pipes after Cloran left, to make sure that Linny wouldn't impulsively chase after his brother. Although the path was blocked, we still stationed some guards there to stop anyone from approaching. They were instructed to only open the door once Miss Cloran had returned. Oh, and I was keeping an eye on Mr. Linny as well. We had to press him, but we couldn't allow him to be in any real danger.
You were all super considerate and really thought everything through.
It's just what we do down here at the fortress. At least this has been His Grace's style for as long as he's been the leader. Oh, I really wish Monsieur Nervulette would come down here more often too. I feel like he'd like it here, with all the darkness and chaos.
What? That doesn't sound like him.
Get a good night's rest, you two.
But also,
you both worked very hard.
I'm just imagining Nervulette just secretly having a goth side to him and just loving insanity and just a fucking rave of a party. The funniest mental image I've had all day. Oh, yep, Yellen died. Fine, everything's okay.
I miss her, she died.
Well, because I was falling from the top and I was gonna like glide down or do a plunge attack, but then the cutscene started.
Oh.
So, you know how that goes.
Cloran!
Ah, it's you two.
The game said you're dead now.
How's dinner?
Because you decided to jump.
It's alright. Miss Sijwin really put in a lot of effort.
So we heard that Risley invited you to come down to help, and you saved Fremine too. You sure work super fast.
Oh, it was child's play.
Still, Paimon didn't know even champion duelists could take on side jobs. Oh, and why aren't you eating with Sijwin and the Duke? Won't you get bored eating by yourself?
Paimon, you have no idea. We introverts are capable of doing whatever.
Miss Sijwin was with you, and the Duke has business of his own.
Actually, didn't Navia say that you went out for dinner with her as well?
Oh, they went on a date.
Yeah. First time in a long time.
The first of many.
First time in a long time? So you mean you've gone out to dinner with her in the past?
Oh, you know, it's the classic story of your girlfriend, having a girlfriend, and then your girlfriend kills your dad, but it's because your dad wanted her to, but she wasn't allowed to talk about that for a long time, and so you broke up with her, and now you're thinking, oh, maybe we can be girlfriends again, we'll try this out. That's a normal situation, right?
In the past, yes. You seem to be enjoying yourselves here. Things will be getting messy at the fortress soon. Don't run around unnecessarily.
How long have we been here? Hold on, I'm gonna take a quick stop. Oh, there's some nice looking birds. Look at them. You know, actually, I don't want to kill them. I was going to as a joke, but I couldn't do it.
Malone, they are vibing.
Vibing, they're thriving. You'll love to see it. Sayu, if you would like to get off the stairs, please. Sayu? Sayu?
I'm out of here. So much has happened. Paimon just feels absolutely exhausted now that she's finally relaxed. Paimon's super sleepy. Are you sleepy too?
Paimon! You're so small. Why do you take up so much of the bed? God, I wish that could be me. I wish I could fall asleep that fast.
Same.
Delicious. Paimon wants seconds for free.
I could lay down and be like, I'm gonna go to sleep now, and fall asleep immediately at the drop of a hat. God, my life would be so much easier.
I can only fall asleep at the drop of a hat when I'm trying to stay awake.
I only fall asleep at... I can fall asleep at the drop of the hat if I haven't slept, like, the night before. If I've been awake for, like, 30-something hours, then I can fall asleep.
Like, at least for, like, the half hour, I've been trying not to fall asleep, but that's only because it's me, and after I eat, I usually conk the fuck out.
No idea, but something must have happened.
There's my water.
Uh-oh, something's going on. There's a riot. You think there's a prison break?
Who's yelling? Paimon still wants to sleep.
Unless that's the sound of rushing water, which would be a very bad thing to hear in an underwater fortress. Oh no, there's a siren going off.
What happened? Why is everyone running around? Hey, what are you doing?
No time to explain, mate. Goodbye.
Hey, wait! What's wrong with these people? They won't even talk to us.
Okay, we have two options, Paimon. We can see everyone's going in the same direction, so we either follow them to probable safety, or we go the other direction and see what's happening. Personally, I'm a fan of going the other direction. I want to go see the danger.
They're here! Yeah! There you are!
Ah, my dude, my bro.
Oh, thank goodness!
Brothers! How you doing?
Thing going on, and they still came back for you.
We came here especially to inform you. Something seems to have gone terribly wrong just now. His Grace is telling everyone to evacuate
Oh,
and get
thanks for
out of
coming
here.
back for us, boys.
Lafaroon was saying you two are new here and you don't have many friends, so you might slip through the cracks. Haven't you heard all the stories like that? An evacuation is successfully completed, yet you only find out once you do a head count that 1 or 2 people are missing.
Yeah, I get it. How about we start running?
Wait,
Let's
was you
go.
the one who brought that up? Why is it suddenly my idea?
Hey, shut up!
Okay, whatever. The point is, you should come with us. Yeah, he said to get as far away as possible, upwards and outwards.
Doesn't the elevator only carry like 3 or 4 people at a time?
Oh no, it can't be that thing!
It's the thing.
Oh, wait, what? What? Hey, where are you going?
You two get out of here. We got business.
We have to go find the Duke! You two just go and get out! Go on without us!
Hey, hey! Be careful!
The good news is we're not Fontainians, so we're safe. Except for water pressure. Water pressure is very dangerous.
Upwards and outwards, upwards and outwards. If you're already at the topmost layer, then try to move as far outwards as possible.
What do you think is worse, being turned into water or being crushed by water pressure? I feel like the water
For me,
pressure
because
sounds more painful.
to my worst nightmares of just dying to water. Going downstairs.
Your eyes? Oh. Oh, I need to go to the Forbidden Zone. I'm not paying attention. Ooh, it's animated. Love to see it.
They're here.
Just like I said.
Ooh, that's a bad sound. Hey, you two are Fontainian. You should probably get the fuck out of here.
You're just in time. But be ready to run.
Oh! Oh, he's cryo. I see what he's planning. Oh, never mind. It's too late. Too much water. Time to go. Time to go. I don't think you can punch that. Risley? Okay, maybe you can punch that. I was wrong. I stand corrected.
Cook. Cook.
Hit the gate, hit the gate, hit the gate.
3, 2, 1.
This won't hold it for long. Find Neuvillette. Tell him the defenses are about to collapse.
Then what will happen to you?
Until he arrives, we're the last line of defense.
You're going to fight the water. How much does it take to turn them into water? Isn't it just a single drop of pure primordial water?
That
Primordial sea?
depends on us.
Just goes to see how good they are.
Apparently. Because of one wrong step there, if he was even an instant later, dude would have been fucking evaporated immediately.
Traveler,
or liquefied.
I need you to head to the Opera House immediately. Farina will soon be meeting with the knave there. You must protect Farina and make sure she doesn't spend too much time alone with her. Will do. You have my sincerest gratitude.
You already know what's going on down below. Do you know that the primordial sea is about to explode and everything's about to be really, 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 really bad? Or do we need to tell you that? Off we go. Fine.
To my friends.
It's so peaceful up in the overworld. It's as if nothing terrible is going down below at all. Nervalet's husband's perfectly fine.
people over there. The knave is probably here already. We need to hurry.
Are you two the traveler in Paimon? Monsieur Nervalet has left instructions. Please follow me.
Hello, little Melusine.
Though I'm sure he's already explained, this should be a mostly cordial conversation, unlikely to give rise to violence. But it would be most appreciated if you could protect Lady Farina to the best of your
I'll
abilities.
be honest, he didn't really explain anything at all. But that's fine.
I mean,
I love that they just skip everywhere. They don't
what else
walk.
is there to explain?
They don't fucking... I love that they don't walk. They just skip and hop around.
They are simply vibing.
Oh, so you
Her
two are the honored
smile
guests
when
Miss
she
Farina
sees the
mentioned.
traveler come in. I'm just like, I want that smile to last forever.
Of course, of course. How could they not attend a meeting such as this? I must always have 2 or more guests at my dessert table. Otherwise, the occasion would be too lonely and unbecoming of my station.
It is my pleasure to make your acquaintance, traveler. I have heard much of your accomplishments. I am the Knave, one of the 11 Fatui Harbingers.
Okay, sorry, I'm back. I died for a second.
I've already prepared seats for you. Come, sit
Sorry, I
beside
had a
me.
gay panic moment.
Perhaps you
We're
two
good.
are unaware of how Miss Farina and I do things. You see, we actually recently agreed to get together for tea when we had the time. See
Look how
this?
big that cup is.
This is a limited
Massive.
type of confectionery that Miss Farina simply adores. There are only 16 slices sold every day. Here, why don't you and Paimon have a taste?
I don't know if she's evil. I know that she's probably some level of manipulative and controlling and all this other stuff.
She has her own agenda. That's
Yes.
basically what it is.
But, yeah. I should be very cautious around her.
Traveler, what do you think of this cake?
That's good to hear. So what Child said was on the mark after all. You do share a taste in desserts with Farina and I.
Todd should have no reason to have said something like that. Yeah, that's a very interesting
I wonder
choice
how
of
he's
words.
doing nowadays. You must have heard, right? He's suddenly gone missing. I'm really worried about his safety, you know. Here's to hoping that he's an excellent swimmer.
The way that you talk is both very good and also, like, you are definitely hiding some shit. A lot of shit. All the shit.
Since we're talking about him, I feel like I should add something. His martial prowess really looked certainly pretty impressive, yeah.
Farina, I love you. I don't think you know what you're doing.
Oh, so you're also familiar with his aptitude for fighting, Miss Farina. Oh, right. I almost forgot. Child was subdued by Udex Nuvillette right in front of you. Against ordinary people, my colleague would never be on the back foot. But alas, he just never imagined he'd run into such a person. I must express my admiration for Monsieur Nuvillette.
Do you know that we beat the shit out of him like every week?
Coming from you, that's not surprising at all.
But I thought you would be happier to hear the news.
Of course, but it's still a bit of a shame. You see, I would have been far happier had I received this news somewhat earlier. As you well know, a long time has passed since Child disappeared.
Oh, you know, I don't know all the full details. How much time specifically, ma'am, if you do not mind me asking? Looking to either of them to say any length of time at all. No? Okay.
Well, in any case, there's no need to worry. We know for sure that Child is still
So
alive.
it may be the best I can assume is like maybe like a couple weeks.
And just how do you know that?
Because we found evidence that proved he left the Fortress of Mirapede.
Did we?
And where did he go after leaving the fortress?
Oh, now she's interested.
Well,
We don't know.
Look,
We just know he left.
look, ma'am, I'm not sure if you're aware of this about your friend Child. He's kind of a slippery little bastard.
The Fortress of Mirapede lies deep beneath the waves. Unless he pranced right out of the main gate, he must have had to swim for it. Do you have any proof that he surfaced safely? That is good news, at least. His sister
We
Tonya
do,
sent
but we
him
have
off
to keep that close to
Fontaine
our
not too long
chest.
ago. Since he was unfortunately unavailable, I picked it up on his behalf.
Wait, we have evidence that he was hurt?
No, we have evidence that he's alive.
Do we? Oh, right.
Yeah, we still have his vision.
Yeah, you're right. We do have that. That's right. It's still active because it's still connected to him. If he was dead, then he would be.
It would have gone out.
Dark. Same thing with what's his face's friend? Fuck. You know
With
who I'm talking-
Kazua's friend.
Kazuha, yes, Kazuha. I was about to say Kaveh. Kaveh is not his name. Kazuha. Kazuha's friend.
Do you have any idea how he usually writes back to his family? Dear Tonya, your letter made me feel like we were still enjoying our time in Snezhnaya together. I'm currently admiring the scenery on the streets in front of the Opera House. Is it something like that?
All letters tend to follow the same few formats anyway, right? As long as the contents are accurate, it doesn't matter so much how it's written or how it's worded.
Unless you're talking to Rena?
hold on. The water in the teacup is shaking.
Then okay, hold on. I saw this in a movie once. Be on the lookout for a T-Rex.
I suppose this is also a sign of things to come, Miss Farina.
Huh? I don't quite understand what you're trying to say.
Have we entered into the next stage of the prophecy?
My thanks to you both. I will take it from here.
I assume that Nervalet would be protected from the primordial water, right? Like he wouldn't.
Sure you don't need a hand?
Because he's a dragon,
Quite
he's not
sure.
technically Fontainian.
Wow. So, what's your secret, huh? Let me guess. Nah, who knows? Maybe it's just your sense of responsibility.
Sounds about right.
A day may come when the prophecy is fulfilled and the waters burst forth. But it is not this day.
I am so mad. I missed most of it.
This ancient power could easily obliterate an entire race. A tsunami of fury would unleash endless catastrophe. This sentence is too severe. Forgive me for overruling it.
Now, what did he mean by that last
All right.
line?
Seems like the
So
problem inside
yes,
has been
that was the
addressed.
cutscene I was waiting for, and of course, right at that time, my internet disconnected.
Oh no! Oh no! Sorry, I was just watching it in
so-
awe because it was so fucking cool.
I'm so mad. That was the exact cutscene I was waiting for.
Let me guess. we're safe for now.
F in the chat for B.
All I wanted to do was point out that stupid bit where it looked like Riley was staring at Newlet's ass.
There was a you know what? Thinking back, I think I know what moment you're talking about.
Wow. And I'm like, why you say it like that?
For now. I win this bet. You owe me a present.
Also, my brain just... Okay, here's another dumb thing about me. Every time we saw like the primordial water like moving around and doing anything, like bursting forth, my brain... You know where my brain went? Oh, damn, the fluid sim on that looks really cool. I just went straight into art mode.
Very well. It was indeed just as you said.
You made a bet?
We made a bet on the size of your entourage. Cloran thought you wouldn't come down by yourself.
I figured you would have at least brought a few people along for appearance's sake. It appears I underestimated just how confidential the mission was.
Shouldn't you have gotten used to confidential missions by now? That's just how the courts operate.
Damn, that was some incredible fucking power from Nervalet.
So what gift must the loser give? Tea?
He already has tons of tea in his office. I'm thinking about a set of legal codices.
That wouldn't happen to be a dig at my lack of legal awareness, would it?
Well, I'm sure His Grace doesn't consider the fortress to be outside the law.
I was under the impression the residents of a place like this would be uninterested in the legal codices.
I was also under the impression that this place was disconnected from the court.
That was obviously a joke. Anyway, you've still got some unfinished business to attend to in the overworld, correct?
No need to stay here if you have a pressing matter. We all know you can't leave Palais Mermonia for long.
Thank you. I hope everything went smoothly with the Fatui Harbinger.
This motherfucker just walks up. Just like, okay, I'm gonna save everyone's ass. Alright, I've got shit to do. See you later.
I must say, we've spent long enough playing house, Miss Farina. As the Hydro Archon, I am sure you understand the exact meaning of the phenomenon we just witnessed. Or should I say, that's what I originally thought. But looking at your expression... Was I wrong? And you haven't a clue?
I think she's starting to figure out the Farina's a little bit,
What are you trying to say?
a little bit out of her depth, as it were.
At this point, I don't think there's any more need to speak as diplomatic representatives. Allow me to speak to you now as just a Fontainian. You know the prophecy by heart, and also that every part of it is being proven true. Yet, here you are relaxing, drinking tea, and eating desserts as if it's all nothing more than a few stray bugs in your garden. Do you really think that's acceptable? The prophecy's hanging above our necks like a guillotine. Every faction is looking for a way to either avert the disaster or save their own. Even the orphans of the House of the Heart have devoted everything to saving their homeland. But you? It beggars belief just how nonchalant and carefree you have been. From the very beginning, you, the god Focalor, you have utterly failed to take action.
You're wrong. I've never ignored the prophecy, nor have I just been passing the time in self-indulgence. Retract your accusation and stop doubting the wisdom of the gods with such absurd conjectures.
I am not
Go off,
alone
Queen, I
in
love
my
you.
thoughts, you know. All the children of Fontaine may be harboring the exact same thoughts right now. Oh, great Hydro Archon. How are you going to save them? Save us? How are the people you've sworn to protect supposed to survive in a land that will soon disappear beneath the waves?
I have my ways, and I've been working on them for all this time. Even if you look down upon me, you have no right to judge me. Fontaine will be saved. Even if I still cannot see the true future right now, as long as I continue on as I am, I will be able to hold my head up high.
Queen.
She's actually seriously refuting the name's accusations. She means what she says. She's not putting. Yeah, I was like, this is a little different. Like, normally you can tell how obvious it is that she's just kind of like putting on this mask of someone who has all this confidence and strength. But this is legit.
Then I ask you, Miss Farina, just what have you been working on? Where can we see it, and what is it doing to help?
My machinations are just like the prophecy itself.
Okay, now this is. Yeah.
They will only reveal themselves at the fated time. It is just that beings like yourselves are unable to perceive them as of yet.
Like that entire line. The confidence is real. But her reasoning as to why she can't show it, this is definitely more that front from before. It's either it's working. It's like it's not something she can actually show, or it's still in the process, and there's just a lot of options.
I see. As a god, the proof of your labor always lies beyond prying mortal eyes.
That's not good enough for her.
Allow me to be so bold as to ask another way. Would it be possible for you to tell us the parts of your plan that are not confidential? Such as your emergency response plan for the impending disaster?
An emergency response plan?
Ooh, okay, clearly she doesn't have one of those.
Oh, that look in your eyes. Have you not even prepared one of those?
The emergency response plan is also strictly confidential.
Oh, I think she's falling apart.
Then allow me to jog your memory. Miss Farina, what is the purpose of your oratrice mécanique d'analyse cardinal?
Oratrice mécanique d'analyse cardinal. Damn it, I almost had it. Oratrice mécanique d'analyse cardinal.
And what do you plan to do with the massive amounts of indemnitium that has accumulated over the years?
The oratrice? It's just like it appears to be.
So you also have no idea. If I'm not mistaken, someone's using it to prepare for something. But unfortunately, it would seem that someone is not you, Miss
Ervalet! Ervalet, please get back here soon. We need your help.
I first caught wind of this when Linny tried to investigate the oratrice in the Opera House. You see, even just getting close to the core contaminated him with an extremely large amount of indemnitium. But even if that had nothing to do with you, then what could you possibly be working on, oh great Hydro?
You know, all Farina has to say is, I technically owe you no answers. Regardless of anything else. But she doesn't have the confidence for that. The knave is has way too much charisma and way too much intimidation.
Oh, right. I almost forgot. Eudex Nouvillette is not at the tea party with us today. Miss Farina, I suppose you must have ordered him away to take care of some troublesome business.
Yeah, yes, that's exactly right. Please keep it a secret for me.
Of course I will. Although, I must say, Miss Farina, you seem quite insecure without the Eudex by your side. Oh, very well.
He's a very calming
Let's
force.
stop that conversation here. There are still a few slices of cake left, so please, help yourselves, everyone.
She has taken such complete control of the situation. This is not her place. This is not her party. We are not her guests. But boy, does she fucking act like it. And she fucking owns it.
Traveler, I heard that you were recently commissioned to handle a few matters on behalf of the Eudex. Why don't you take an extra slice of cake? Those who work hard deserve gratitude and praise. You too, Paimon.
Thank you. Paimon will take you up on that offer.
What's up?
I was like, Paimon didn't do anything.
No, Paimon's here.
Paimon's super full.
Possibly
That
for
cake
moral
was
support.
great.
Hard to say.
If it's on my tea table, it must be of the highest quality. Yes, and we must thank the knave for bringing these over as well.
You're welcome. I'm sure the cake also felt greatly honored to be featured at Miss Farina's table. And I was merely catering to Miss Farina's tastes, seeking a chance to chat over tea.
God, the quick switch from blaming Farina for everything and like going hard on her to immediately back to this very calm and pleasant demeanor is terrifying. This is the most terrifying woman in this fucking game that I think we've met.
It is getting late. Why don't we call it a day? There are still a few matters that I need to take care of, so
And we
I
fucking
must
met
take
Ning
my
Wong.
leave now.
She's pretty scary.
I mean, we've met the right Shogun.
You met the right Shogun. She's also adorable though.
Very well, we'll end it here.
Mind seeing me off,
Well,
traveler?
A is adorable.
We could use the opportunity to discuss Child before I must be on my way.
Should we tell her at some point that we have the vision, or should we keep that a secret?
We're keeping the secret for now. Because that just may cause more issues.
The tea party turned out to be even more difficult than I'd imagined. Why are you looking at me like that? Is something the matter? If there's nothing urgent, then I shall be retiring for now.
Farina, do you need a pat on the shoulder? Do you need me to go pat? It's gonna be okay. I know you're like 500 years older
What
than
she
me.
deserves.
You're like 500 years older than me, but also let me give you head pats. Head pats with water. That's your element, right? Oh, right. I forgot that takes away my health. Hello, Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal. How are you today? Or at least the front face of the Oratrice. How do I get up there?
You have to finesse it either by like kind of fucking around or with certain characters.
I was about to say, with Geo Traveler, I could get up there no problem.
Well, it's more you'd need more along the lines of like Zhongli plus Wanderer.
That would also work.
Or Kazuha.
I mean, because it looks like I could just go from balcony to balcony. So it really wouldn't be that difficult.
I mean, even to get up to that first one, because you can't climb on the wall. You can't hang onto the walls.
Well, with Zhongli's,
I mean, that's what I said with Zhongli, because his thing is tall enough. But even then, you'd still have to jump, so you'd have to at least use either Kazuha or Wanderer.
But could I put Geo Traveler's creations on the walls here? And climb on those?
I don't know. Those things are very weird.
Finicky?
I'm glad that you were willing to come with me. Of course, Child was just an excuse. I have no interest in your dealings with him.
Oh, she's dropping all pretenses here.
Paimon thought.
You lent your aid to the children of the House of the Hearth. As their father, I would like to express my gratitude.
Oh, well, you're welcome. I mean, they're my friends, so sure.
Do I look like an irresponsible father to you? The House of the Hearth is very important to me. You should know that I care deeply about my children. That was all. Formal topics should be discussed in formal settings, and informal topics in informal settings. I know you just returned from the fortress of Meripede. Relax. I have no intention of trying to get anything out of you. Linny, Lynette, and Fremine are still there, and I trust their judgment and abilities.
They've all been working very hard and have always done all they can to fight back against anyone who tried to stop them. Especially Linny.
You mean Wriothesley. He's a tricky one to deal with. It's unfortunate that Linny's so eager to prove himself that he can't learn to rely on others, including me. By the way, and you can just consider this a bit of idle gossip, But what's your impression of Farina?
This feels like a question I shouldn't answer because you take it as idle gossip. This is not idle gossip.
You are outside of our disputes, and the freest person in all of Fontaine, able to move around most easily. Allow me to share my perspective with you.
I love her and I would die for her.
Everything
That's
that
my
happened during
opinion.
the trial. Master Child was declared guilty and immediately transported to the fortress of Meropide.
Didn't he say he was coming here on vacation? Does he not feel an ounce of shame for all the trouble he has caused? Forget it. He did give us an opportunity. I will be meeting someone shortly.
Do you require help with any preparations?
No need. I will take care of it myself. I need to meet with Farina, the Hydro Archon. She is at the heart of Fontaine. But what's fascinating about her is that she often seems more like a celebrity than a working Archon.
Hey. She could be both. She's not, but she could be.
Oh? Come over here, you little critter, you!
I love that her well, okay, the hood and the mask are pretty cool. Although she isn't wearing a bit of a different outfit.
You dare to run from me? Stop right this instant!
My goal is just to discover the location of the Gnosis. But I didn't expect the chance to approach Farina to be handed to me on a silver platter. This is so easy, it's actually making me a bit suspicious.
Her mask also has the X's in the eyes. That's a little bit disturbing. But only a little bit.
Anything left unguarded is usually just bait. But no one will blame someone for taking the bait. After all, from the moment it was attached to the hook, the bait is meant to be sacrificed.
Okay, Farina, this happened. How do you not wait, no, she does. That's why she's so uncomfortable around her.
It's just as I guessed in the second before I struck. The Hydrognosis is not currently held by the Archon.
Or Trace has it, obviously.
In fact, this Archon doesn't seem like a god at all. And I sense that she's under some kind of curse.
Who are you? And what are you trying to do? Please don't kill me! I'm begging you, please!
The fear in her pupils is genuine, so perhaps she's not bait after all. Either way, targeting her has lost all meaning. I left the scene with ease. Nobody came looking for me, and nobody could serve as a witness to my near assassination of Focalor. I suspect even Farina dares not mention this incident to anyone.
I feel really bad for Farina. Look at her. Look at how scared she is. Oh.
Not long after, my informants confirmed what I had guessed. After returning to her quarters, Farina quietly cried alone. She was so scared that she could not sleep that night, nor could she even bring herself to eat her cake.
I want to give her a hug.
There's no doubt that there's something wrong with her. I began to entertain the possibility that she is not the true Hydro Archon. Perhaps Iudex Neuvillette is actually the genuine article. I have to find the Gnosis. If the Neuvillette hypothesis is correct, he is probably in possession of it. Alternatively, it might have been hidden in a place that's hard for ordinary people to access.
Yes, Father.
My dear children, please speak.
News from the fortress of Meropide. Master Child has gone missing. On top of that, the contacts and guards we bribed at the fortress have all gone quiet as well.
Probably the handiwork of that Wriothesley.
I'm afraid so.
This is a good opportunity. The value of a Harbinger is much higher than most would imagine. We now have an excuse to exert diplomatic pressure on the Fontaine authorities. Set up a meeting for me. I would like to meet the Hydro Archon and Iudex Neuvillette. Oh, and I have an additional mission for you three.
Yes, Father.
Tartaglia's disappearance was not a part of my plan, but I can use it to make a breakthrough. With this as my excuse, I can ask for an official audience and continue my investigation of Farina and Iudex Neuvillette. The initiative belongs to the House of the Hearth. My wish to investigate the fortress of Meropide will be a front, Lenny and his group will be responsible for the actual intelligence gathering.
Okay, well, ma'am, father, ma'am.
You should know the rest. Lenny's group is quite close to you, so they wouldn't have hidden.
You're incredibly
anything from you.
hot. You're also terrifying.
You attacked the Hydro Archon?
It wouldn't mean anything, even if you shouted it from the rooftops. After all, even Farina herself is still pretending that nothing
It also
of that
isn't the
sort
biggest
ever
surprise.
happened.
We've seen Fatui Harbingers attack Archons left and right. It's just kind of a running theme.
Alright then.
I've now had 2 chances to enjoy tea with Farina. I have to say, the leadership of Fontaine is even more inscrutable than I had imagined. I once surmised that Eudex Neuvillette must be the Hydro Archon, but now, that doesn't seem right to me either. I am a servant of Her Majesty the Tsaritsa. Over my years of service, I've learned how a real Archon conducts and carries themselves. Whether Eudex Neuvillette or Farina, neither fits the bill. It's hard to imagine either of them.
I
as
mean,
the
to be
Archon.
fair,
Venti exists.
yeah. I've seen Venti. I've seen Zhongli. I've seen A. I've seen Nahida. I don't think there's one way to be an Archon, ma'am. I'm sorry. It's not quite just a title, but it's largely just a title.
Of course, that is all just how I feel. Gut feelings often do not require justification.
A real Archon,
Watching-
your Archon.
Like, watching a lot of people go through this, and she said that whole thing and said, I know how when Archon acts, literally everybody, when they get to this part, everybody just says,
Venti.
but Venti.
But Venti.
It is, however, quite amusing to me that after all my years working in intelligence gathering, I've come to realize I am at a complete loss regarding the identity of the god of the land of my birth.
I'm at the point where I'm pretty sure Farina is the Hydro Archon. She just doesn't have the confidence. And, like, she might have the power, but she doesn't necessarily have the confidence to use it.
Don't you think Fontaine is quite intriguing? A catastrophe looms, yet many secrets have yet to rise to the surface. It looks like Fontainians will have no choice but to save themselves.
I'm still 1000% sure that Neuvillette is not the Archon, but the Hydro Dragon.
Ultimately, though, one must survive in order to do anything else. Should the need arise, I would be happy to cooperate with you. You don't need to commit to anything right now, of course. I have a feeling that the situation will continue to evolve, and as your name is often connected with noble deeds, I'm sure we will work together someday. He certainly returned quickly. You must want to catch up with each other, so I'll leave you to him.
I feel like, if nothing else, I should probably tell Neuvillette everything. Everything. Even the stuff Farina doesn't want to say to him.
Okay, so this diplomat tried to kill your daughter?
Neuvillette, is it over?
For now, yes. But this issue will prove quite thorny in the long term. I'm concerned that sooner or later the
And also,
prophesized
your daughter
events
didn't
will
feel comfortable saying anything to anyone, including you, about her near assassination. So...
Thank you for protecting Farina. To put it simply, I used my power to force back the Primordial Sea and reseal the sluice gate.
Good. How long is that gonna last? Do you give it 5 minutes, 5 days, 5 months? What you got?
So as expected, the knave has turned up the pressure on Farina. She's trying to feel her out, though I'm still unsure as to her motives. Permission granted.
Whoa. It can't be that you're the real Hydro Archon, right? But that's just a speculation on our part, though. You can't tell us? Then that's okay. We can talk about something else. We won't try to force you. You guys in Fontaine are super strange.
If by the phrase "you guys" you are referring to Farina and I, Then although I'm not sure just what you are trying to imply, I must clarify that I do not share her positions on a multitude of topics. I believe so. The fortress has a long and complex history. It has seen much grief and suffering. And now, another catastrophe will soon be upon us. I mourn this turn of events.
Huh? Why is it raining all of a sudden?
Don't ask questions, Paimon. It's okay. The clear sky suddenly filled with dark clouds. The rain became heavier, light rain soon growing to a downpour. And just moments before, Neverlet had mentioned his sense of grief. Thinking back to that legend and what Firminette said, it is said that a dragon of water once resided in Fontaine. Every time it weeps, the skies will cloud up and pour out rain.
You may be closer to the truth than you think.
Oh? And what are you thinking? The dragon of... what? Huh?
Please do not be so surprised.
Oh, Farina. Uh-oh.
Farina?
Uh-oh, she was here. How much did she hear?
Neverlet, are you...
Ah, my apologies.
We were just guessing randomly. We didn't guess right, did we? You're not actually the dragon sovereign of water, right? Well, if you don't want to confirm or deny...
You guessed correctly. I sincerely hope you'll be able to keep this a secret for me.
Sir, yes, sir. This shall not leave my lips anywhere ever again. Don't worry, this is not being broadcasted live on the internet.
Right, of course. We'll definitely help you keep it a secret. There's still something Paimon wants to ask
And also
you,
ignore all the guards back there that may or may not have heard us.
Please, go ahead.
Well, if you are the dragon sovereign of water, and you were able to force back the primordial sea from the fortress, then since Fontaine's prophecy is all about seawater, couldn't you just use your power to solve the crisis?
None of the currently living dragon sovereigns in the world, myself included, possess our full dragonhood. They say that when the first usurper arrived on Tivat, they seized a part of the dragon's power. Today, that stolen power is the basis of the Archon's authorities.
Wait, I'm sorry, what now? The first usurper? You heard about that before?
Yeah.
Are those the gods that now rule in Celestia?
Yeah.
Huh.
There are 7 elemental archons and 7 matching dragon sovereigns.
The dragon sovereign of water who lived through that era perished a long time ago. As their successor,
That's why they
I know
made
far
the
less
joke that
about
Celestia's a
what
bunch of
belongs to
colonizers.
I mean, yeah.
In any case, I believe I will not be able to do much unless the Archon disappears and returns their elemental authority to me.
Wait. Ooh.
Given the status quo, however, I would recommend finding another way to deal with the prophecy.
Oh,
that sounds fair.
So even you can't solve it.
I still have some urgent matters to attend to at my office. If you have any more questions
Yeah, I was like,
regarding ancient
Farina
history,
could give up her
you're
power to
welcome
me,
discuss
but I don't
them
want
with
her to
me
do
at a
that.
later time.
He's like, yeah, in order to do that, you need to kill the Archon. He's like, but let's not do that. I'd rather not.
Paimon is a little worried. We'll see you another time.
Take care.
Really, too, you'd have to, like, delete the Archon.
How close are we to the end of Act 4?
You're, like, on the last part.
We've been going, because it's almost 9 o'clock here.
Yeah, it's just, this last part is just, like, talking to people in the prison, just making sure everybody's okay, and then go talking to Risley.
Okay, we'll do that real fast, and then we'll call it. Everyone looks to be fine. Everything seems normal here.
Now guess, what suit will this next card be?
Hi, friends. I met Father. She's hot and terrifying. I was very scaroused.
A bare-teethed cat?
Well, well, look who it is.
Traveler, Paimon.
Hello,
Probably shouldn't be
everyone.
saying that about their dad, their father, their whatever.
Looks like you're recovering nicely from an A.
Mm-hmm. Thanks to
At least not to
everyone's
their
support.
face.
Oh, right. I managed to work up the courage to thank Miss Clorand in person.
Whoa, how did she react?
She told me that it was nothing. It was as if saving a life wasn't a big deal to her at all. She also told me not to worry about it.
She didn't want to stress you out, that's all. She's right, and it's best not to dwell on it.
Yeah.
Okay, but check this out. We went back to the opera house and we met the knave.
You met Father? Did she say anything to you?
She said a few things that were, a bit hard to understand. And also that she's looking forward to working with us in the future.
Her attitude towards you is even better than what we'd imagined. That's fantastic.
You know, maybe we don't tell them the full story of everything that happened. That feels better.
You should believe her.
Or to not
She
do
has
that.
her own way of doing things, and she'll do everything in her power to help those she considers
But
close.
this is fine.
Which
Everything's
now might
okay.
also include you.
The knave has this very kind of personality of the people that are close to me I love very dearly. Everyone else can die for all I care. Unless I can use them.
Mm-hmm. Father is very capable, and also trustworthy.
Oh, Paimon just remembered that she thought Linny was a bit too proud as well. She said that you should learn how to rely on others sometimes.
Got it.
That does sound like something that Father would say.
Hey!
Are you going to stay here for the next few days?
Oh no, we're getting the fuck out of here. We don't need to... Our prison sentence says that we've been pardoned. We're, you know, our sentence ended early. We're good. We're leaving. Y'all have fun in prison.
Looks like it, yeah.
Excellent. I will host a tea party.
Or not. Apparently we're staying for some reason.
Then Paimon wants another serving of cake.
Another implies that you were already served some delicious cake while you were up there. How lovely. Well, next time, you're going to have tea and snacks with us.
I feel like the music's changed in the prison. Okay, look, I was told to come to the office. Where are you? You're down below.
Below.
Oh, it's you two. I was expecting Risley to be here.
Miss Seashween told me you still haven't eaten.
Yeah, I was working on something, so I forgot.
What a mood. Me too, buddy.
That's no
Me.
excuse for... Huh? It's you two.
Lurvine, we're back!
Why are you two fighting like an old married couple? Again.
Hello there. It's been quite the mess here recently. How have you been?
It's been like 2 hours.
And you? Are you still taking the
We don't
secret
know
passageway
what's
from
been
the
for this.
infirmary to work on the ship?
Yep. That is still top secret, though. So don't say a word to anyone.
It can be a bit annoying when there are lots of people in the infirmary, but I still prefer taking that route over the one from the Duke's office.
I mean, the infirmary does make it easier for you to slack off.
Oh yeah? Then why are you also here so much?
You two really are just using your jobs as a cover for your relationship, aren't you?
Not at all!
Uh-huh. Sure. Very suspicious. Very suspicious indeed. Siegewin! Ween. Siegewin. Ween. Thank you, Paimon.
Traveler, Paimon, you're back! Are you still doing alright? Did either of you get hurt? We're fine, but what about you guys? It was such a huge mess. How bad was it?
How many people escaped? Well, actually, most people here would just, they wouldn't really have a reason to escape. They don't care.
A few people sustained superficial injuries, but that's about the extent of the damage. Monsieur Nervulette paid us a visit. It was all thanks to him that we managed to suppress the crisis for the time being. Of course, we must also thank you for the help you provided. How did Nervulette know that he was needed here? Well, Monsieur Nervulette has strong resonance with the hydro element. When the water level rises, he can feel the waves produced. I ran into the bombshell bros while bandaging the injuries of the wounded. They were mumbling the whole time about how you just ran down without a word. I'm so relieved to see that you're both alright.
It wasn't entirely without a word. We said, hey, you go on without us. That's several words.
If you're not too pressed for time, please stay with us a few more days. Just let me know if you get a craving for any particular dish, so I can have Mr. Walsey get your meals prepared. Oh, and please feel free to visit the infirmary for a break at any time.
I guess we've kind of dropped all pretenses of Paimon and the Traveler just being prisoners here, have they?
I'd like to
Kind of
take the
stay in
opportunity
here
to
to
spend
stay
some more
here.
time observing your facial muscles as well. Your happy smiles are quite contagious, you know. They're so
Because that's
memorable,
the public,
and I've
like,
missed them
for
immensely
what,
while you were
like,
gone.
the system knows, we're in here for doing something. Everybody else higher up, they're just like, you know what, just let it play out.
Nope, wrong one. This one. Hello, Bombshell Brothers. Look at us, we're alive.
You guys are back?
Yeah, everything's fine, don't worry about it.
You guys didn't get caught and thrown back down here, right?
What? No, we're just here to say hi. You never just visited prison for no reason? Or just like, visitation, see some friends?
Huh? No, not at all.
Ah, and here I thought you'd managed to escape from jail during all the commotion. I'd held you up as legendary jailbreakers, but now you're telling me you just never left?
Oh no, we absolutely left. We just came back.
We're sorry, but we just had some business to take care of.
All right. There's no need to get caught up in the details. We're just relieved to see you. He was super worried about you, you know?
It's funny that we've had like one conversation with these guys and they're our best friends.
I love them.
Hey, it wasn't just me. Weren't you super worried as well?
Thank you for the
something
hydrate,
like
Maya.
that,
And the stretchy.
I was also transferred to work in the kitchen a few days ago. I can still hear Quisto mumbling to the carrots. Are those two all right? Do you think they made it out alive?
Aw, that's so sweet. Welcome back, Maya. Stuff happened. A lot of stuff happened. I don't know what you mean. Actually, no, you were here recently. I think you saw most of
Whenever
it.
he'd say that, I'd tell him I'm sure
Welcome
they're
back.
fine.
Hope you're having a
Wherever
good
they
time.
They're kicking back with drinks in hand, enjoying the lovely scenery.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with worried about your prison pals. Is there? I mean, considering how they always love listening to all my gossip.
Yes, always. Ow. Thank you for the Pokeball.
These
Thank you,
two,
Beast.
They sure are a lot warmer and friendlier than when Paimon first met them.
Oh, well, if you say so. I'll be watching you to make sure you finish every last bite.
That's a little weird. Please don't watch me eat. I get nervous when people watch me. Stares at camera. Hello, sir.
Do my
We're
eyes
back.
deceive me, or did I just see two inmates come back after making it to the surface? Some strange winds blowing of late.
As long as you're careful on the road, Maya. Are you the one driving? If you're driving, be extra careful. What was I saying? Right, so don't a lot of people, like, their fucking sentence ends and they stay here? Isn't that kind of a whole deal?
We wanted to see how the fortress is doing. Is everything still alright?
We're fine for the most part. Neuvillette came down and took care of the worst of it.
If that's the case, why don't you just ask him to stay here?
Oh, yeah, what a brilliant plan. Let's go convince the Udex himself to exchange the courts of Fontaine for a puddle of water in the middle of nowhere. He came here in a hurry and left without even stopping for a cup of tea. He did remember to take Miss Sigewinne's gift with him, though.
To be fair, there is some important business going on the surface. Neuvillette is not allowed to rest.
He sure sounds super busy.
Miss Cloran has left as well. She also took her gift from Miss Sigewinne.
Were the gifts milkshakes?
Ooh, milkshake sounds good, actually.
Neuvillette got the milkshake. Cloran received lipstick instead.
Those aren't even remotely alike.
Well, it's Neuvillette's own fault for making Sigewinne worried about his health by working so much. But besides that, our head nurse is still pretty fond of picking out beauty products for the ladies. Oh, and I have some gifts here for you as well.
Are these from Sigewinne too?
Nope, they're from yours truly. You've already wrapped up your work at the fortress, so you can return to the surface at any time. You haven't yet served your full prison term, however, so you may continue to use your cell until your term is up.
What a weird situation to find ourselves in.
For real? Then we could stay here for a really long time?
You may access the cafeteria for free. Just remember to come complete your paperwork once it's time for your release.
I'm sorry, this is a weird situation. We're just like, wait, you mean we're allowed to stay in prison? Awesome! What?
I mean, food. You actually get fed.
True. Free food is hard to turn down. Especially when you can confirm exactly what it's going to be instead of getting the gacha game.
Yeah.
I was like, it's also a free bed, but also like, why do we sleep in this bed when we have a teapot? Set the teapot down, we have a nice big mansion everywhere we go.
We're back in our cell again. We're no longer prisoners though, so it really doesn't feel the same. Being free sure feels pretty special now. Huh? How did you know? Hey, that's not true! Alright. Okay, Paimon just wanted to say that we really are an amazing duo after all. It's like, we've now gone to so many places together and become friends with so many people. We've never stopped traveling or stopped meeting new friends.
And new enemies. Can't forget about our new enemies. That also sometimes become friends. And then sometimes they're enemies again after that. And that's a bit of a roller coaster.
There are so many bad things in the world, and we're just two people, but we've still been solving problems no matter where we go. Isn't that pretty cool? You're counting Paimon today? Aren't you the only adventurer here? Then let's ask Catherine to give Paimon an adventurer handbook as well. Paimon will also be an adventurer from today forward.
I believe the teapot just sits there, you set it down, and you get sucked into it. I think that's how it works.
Just our thoughts making Paimon giddy. Paimon's gonna crash, so you sleep soon too. The last time we fell asleep here, we woke up to a whole mess outside our cell. The primordial seawater nearly rose up. That was so scary. We should be safe now, right? Alright then, good night to you, traveler.
Hey, we still have the... Hey, technically we didn't finish what we came here to do. We came here to find Child. Did everyone just kind of forget about him?
We just don't know. We just don't have any clues.
Except for this. Hey, I think I know where Child is. Act 4 complete. Would I trust sleeping? I mean, if we can put the teapot somewhere safe. This is our prison cell. No one else is here. But we have completed Act 3 and Act 4. I believe, and it is now a little after 9 o'clock. I am hungry, so we're gonna go ahead and call it there tonight, y'all. Oh my god. B. We're fucking 1 act away from being caught up with the Archon quests.
You're about to hit
What
the
the
one
fuck?
that destroyed me the most emotionally.
No, but we're almost caught up with Genshin. We're almost fucking there.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck? It's been a long time.
I mean, you still have the perilous trails to do.
We do have a
'cause
couple of
that's
things
still,
to do. That is correct.
yeah, that's still part of the story.
But, like, for the most part, we're almost caught up.
Yeah.
We need to figure out what we're going to do afterwards. But until then, let's see who we have to raid.
I mean, after that, there is, like, probably the story, like, the more story important,
Quest?
character quests,
Yeah. Yeah, thank you all so much for joining us. There's not really a whole lot going on, and it's pretty late. Oh, in keeping with the theme of water, I know who we're gonna raid. I know what we're gonna raid. I hope you all like otters.
Like Nouvellette?
Like Nervalette. He's an otter? I thought he was a dragon.
Just go, if you go around Fontaine, go look at the, actually, you might have them in the what's it called, the archive. You may have, the otters may actually be in the archive.
And that's character archive. Well, I've already started the raid, so...
Living beings.
Oh, okay, hold on, wait. We'll do this, let's see if we can do this real fast.
Go over to the next, yeah.
Beast? Those are weasels. No, I don't think I have them. No, I don't.
Damn it, if you had them, yeah, if you ever just go around and look at the otters, they look exactly like him.
That's really funny. Alright, y'all. Thursday, we're gonna continue Somnium Files. We're pretty close to the end. Weekend streams will just be as they happen. Until then, you all have a great night. I love you. We'll see you later. Good night, B, as well. And thanks for joining us.